This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died, that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipoja massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me, oh. Remember when me tell you say I touched me, oh. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you go like a Papa Nuku. But then they were bonito. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi Samiro. Me tell you what I did. For me that all and the rest of I tell you what I did. Me never give up. Me tell them
heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
And I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front, without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipoja massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm following you.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes.
Yeah, you know what it is.
It's like I'm looking at myself
We
in the
must
mirror.
revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Fight on, brave boys, fight on, heroes of our fatherland. Pursue the enemy, harass him, destroy the invader. March on, brave boys, now that victory is in sight. March on and hasten the disintegration of the enemy already set in motion.
Fighting a war, knowing the difficulties, the odds against us, there is an element of fatalism, people feeling, well, if the world chooses to abandon us, then perhaps it is better we all perish. They don't ever consider a Biafra not free. They believe in either Biafra free or no Biafra at all. That means none of us living to see it.
I need Biafra freedom. We Biafrans, we need Biafra freedom. For this, I decided, even to die, that Biafra must have its own freedom.
I want us to work systematically towards the establishment of a good, progressive, and democratic society where all vestiges of privilege and social injustice will be abolished, and the rich contribute more for the welfare of the poor. If civil war comes, and I do think it is imminent, you're quite right, it will for us be the price of freedom. Our people here have for a long time been prepared for this eventuality, and I am confident of their readiness. I think that when it does come, that the people on the other side would be surprised as to what they're going to get. And I'm confident that it will not last long.
We'll surely come out as a nation because we're fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
This is what Biafra is, the end of the journey for a persecuted, massacred, pursued people. We have made all attempts at a democratic resolution of this crisis. I have offered open elections, plebiscite. I have offered just an open carte blanche suggestion, anybody who can find a democratic way of finding out the wishes of the people, let him suggest it and we will go for it.
Another Savior.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Another Savior.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Holy, holy.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop. God knows we can never stop until Biafra is restored. We are peace-loving people. We abhor death and killing of another soul. It's in our nature, that's how we are. But because of that, they have been coming and killing us all these years. We've kept quiet. They've been killing and killing and killing quiet. We have a case at the ICC. We have a case at Africa Union. We have a case at, what else again? Pending before the UN in New York. We've been to Geneva to tender our case. Before UN, till today, nothing. In fact, the more we complain to them, the more they come to abduct and rape our children, the more they come to kill us, the more they want to take over our land and our forests. And who told them that's going to be possible in our time? In a movement that I lead. You think you can come into our land and take it over? Oh dear. That means you don't know who we are.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me once again this evening program. I appreciate everyone that has connected. Like and share the program on your platform, share to family and friends, share to those who are close to you. Continue to share the information so that we can reach to as many people as possible. Because this evening it is going to be another revelation. You know, this is a time of exposing all the propaganda, all the lies and blackmail against our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu and against our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. We cannot allow any single propaganda to escape this time around. So any place we see them, we bring them so that the world will see. This is that time that Simon Ekpa spoke about radical evangelism. Anything that is going to bring the saboteurs to shame, anything that is going to end the propaganda, we are good to go. Today, we are going to welcome another program in this platform as it is hot, Darlington. The exposition that is coming from the side of Darlington is what we are going to use for today's evening. And tomorrow, we will go back to our beloved sister Achalugo with another woto against the Imiezi woman. The Imiezi woto is coming tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are going to face the Imiezi tomorrow with the woto coming from Achalugo. So today, we are going to be welcoming Darlington with his exposition. This is a time that no stone should be left unturned. When I speak about IPOB reborn, it is not a joke. It is left for you. If you want to abandon your family and give yourself another nickname, it is okay. Go ahead. The choice is yours. But I tell you, when I started following Nnamdi Kanu, he didn't call me to come and follow him. I followed him because I saw what he did. I saw his sincerity, and I see that he is the right man for the job. When I followed Simon Ekpa, I also saw his sincerity, and I saw his good work. And that is why I am defending these people with everything in me. And I will continue to defend them for better, for worse. Come rain, come sun. Nnamdi Kanu said that he is not going to disappoint us, but we are the one that are going to disappoint him. And today it is happening. But I promise myself that I will not be among those that will disappoint Nnamdi Kanu. Never. I will not be among those that disappoint Nnamdi Kanu. Likewise, Simon Ekpa. I will not be among those that will disappoint Simon Ekpa. Wherever he is, I will make sure that his voice is heard. I will make sure that his voice is on top. I will make sure that he's remembered. That is why if you go through my platform, you will see his pictures in all the broadcasts. In almost all my broadcasts, he will come and speak before anybody speaks. He will speak. Nnamdi Kanu will speak. Then I will go on with my program. Because these are the people that have worked hard, tested and trusted. They have committed their life, their effort, their career, their strength to see that you and I are free. So why wouldn't I support them? Why wouldn't I go extra mile to speak and preach about them? Why wouldn't I embark in a serious journey to defend them? Wherever you are watching from, please don't watch alone. Invite somebody this evening to join us on this very exposition that we are about to enter into. You need to hear it because there are so many questions that we've been asking all this while. Nobody is providing the answer. They sacked the DOS. Instead of providing answer, what they were doing is to sack everybody. You ask question, you are sacked. You ask question, you are sacked. Anybody that asks question, the person is sacked. This is what we are hearing, but not anymore. Today, we are back to status quo. The supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in charge, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. Whatever he says goes. Whatever decision he takes is what we follow. So it doesn't matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter the propaganda. It doesn't matter the blackmail. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It does not matter what anybody is relating. So if you are genuinely seeking for freedom, there is no way you cannot be in the same page with Nnamdi Kanu. Except you're not seeking for freedom. If you're not seeking for freedom, I can understand, no problem. You can go ahead, preach your propaganda, lies, blackmail. But if you are a true person and you are sincere, you can no longer be confused. For a long time, people have been confused. Oh, I don't know who to follow. I don't know who to believe. I don't know who is saying this and who is saying that. If you are still saying that today, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you are still confused today in this struggle, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because the supreme leader has spoken and the direction is clear. Unity, unification of the entire agitating groups. Every one of us, we are going back to our original family. Nnamdi Kanu did not say you should dissolve your group. Nnamdi Kanu did not say nobody should fight for Biafra. If you feel that where you are is comfortable, continue to do what you are doing, but focus on the unity of purpose. The only purpose for which you gather must be self-determination, restoration of Biafra. Any group you are, and they are not talking about restoration of Biafra, all they are talking is propaganda and blackmail, leave them. The only path that we have today is self-determination. And the most important project today is the freedom of our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and the freedom of Samuel Abachoko. That is why everybody is putting effort. The international lawyer of Samuel Ekpa is doing a lot of work and he needs to be supported. So wherever you are, keep behind him, support him, make your contribution and see that he is properly represented. Any place you are, do your own part. Every one of us have a role to play. Play your own role. Support that international lawyer. We want to make sure that Simon Ekpa is properly represented this time around. Evidence against Nigeria must be heard. The propaganda against Simon Ekpa must be trashed. We cannot continue to allow them to hide it. We will make sure that it is exposed. We will make sure it is exposed. So wherever you are, like and share this program and invite someone to join us. Today we are hosting the program with Darlington, and I want us to listen to the exposition that is coming from Darlington. So many things that are hidden before, now we are going back to status quo, and we will continue to make revelation as much as we can. Let us listen to Darlington, what he has to say. And from there, we will proceed.
That you are making it up. Now, the person that is directly connected to all this whole issue, whose name has been brought to the board and attacked severely, I've explained the reason why she was attacked. Now, I believe everything what they say here, because I noticed that all the people that are strong, that are, should I say, all the loyalists to Martin, all the people that love Martin unconditionally, we are all attacked and removed. They brought money, sharing money. There are people who receive those money, join them to attack and continue to attack Martin. We that said no, we cannot be bribed. We stand on our own. Say we cannot be bribed. Now I want to make it very clear here that I have the date when G.K. Museum was paying money for the school fees of the Koso son, who is directly living with me. And when they stopped was last year December. And the upkeep of that child, which they are bringing 50,000, until I told them how much of 50,000 by, and they are telling me this 50,000 is for 3 children. I told them it's too poor. They now add 10,000, making 60,000. These are people who are collecting more than 70,000, and 30,000 euros, and just for 3 children, you are giving 60,000 for them. But they stopped bringing this money to this child because I refuse to dance with their dog. They thought they are going to, it's going to affect me or make me to turn back and come back to them. So since January this year till now, they have not sent a dime, both in support of that child, for the upkeep of those children, and for their school fees.
Imagine the children of Ikonso, our commander that was killed.
How much did Chike Doziem and his cohort, ex-Directorate of State members, sent to Nnamdi Kanu for the past 5 years? In all this money that they are collecting, the opening account, closing the old one, how much have they collected and sent to Nnamdi Kanu that you know?
2 million naira. They brought only 2 million naira. They brought only 2 million naira, and they are at your house. That's what they did.
And that when did they brought that 2 million? This January. Yes, this January. Okay, thank you very much. Now I want to go to the announcement that was published today. The dissolvement of the third administration of IPOB and the setting up of the fourth IPOB head of the Directorate of State that we are celebrating today, because it's a very big celebration. A lot of people are already asking questions: what is happening? We are confused. Where do we pay our dues? How do we follow? Who do we follow? You know, I scheduled a cross-country program that I will talk to IPOB across the globe. I will be going from country to country. But now that President can have helped us in bringing everything now into the right direction, it's going to make the job easy. So immediately we are going to do a lot. So the question I want to ask you is I heard of institutionalization of IPOB. I don't know if you can help me to use your phone and check with Oxford University or Google. Let us know the dictionary meaning of institutionalization. Is IPOB not is an institution? Was it not institutionalized before now? Like, I want you to help me to come in, but start from explaining to the world the meaning of is an institution or institutionalization of an organization. From there, then we take it on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Like you asked, in a very simple term, that is an institution. I would say, we start from institution.
Yes.
It's an established organization, system, or custom that is deeply ingrained in a society or culture.
Good.
So, this is one, you know. So those of them who are talking about institutionalization, you know, it's just like somebody pronounce, you know, count and then as you begin with one vocabulary. How am I in the humor to take any body time? So somebody use that language institutionalization. Anyone said that one to the church, they're going to institutionalize IPOB. I will say that before you dream of institutionalizing IPOB, you have to institutionalize your face first. Come on, establish your face, let know who you are. People don't come out somewhere talking, you know, in an institutionalized IPOB. But as a matter of fact, they're not part of what you're doing. But that doesn't mean that they will run away from accountability. The answer is no. I remember, there was a question you asked today. I was listening. If there is a record of those who are imprisoned and those injured by security of home, how do you expect them to have a record when they are behind the adoptions of our people and killing of our people? Give us some more. They are the ones behind all these things. The adoption and the killing of our people, they are responsible. So do you expect them to account for the people they killed or the people they set up? The answer is no. Because I want to know the man, I want to guy in our team to see that no one get because we put your science. It doesn't happen. And that's what they are doing. So they will set people up, there's no way they can talk about it. But going out to cash out money, they will do. All of them, they are trying to. And why they go now? Ask them to bring the receipt, they don't have to, they don't even pay that. And you ask yourself, is there any merit in sacking them? There is a lot. Going to 9 years, what were they able to do? It's more than 9 years, we are approaching the 10th year now because they were appointed on March 17, 2017.
From where? Where was you today?
I never was in Kujo Prison when you appointed them.
I sacked from Sokoto.
So, that is it. Now, these things happen whenever you know these difficulties. Throughout the time when you was progressing to be a education. No. But the moment the enemies struck, you saw all of them came out. This one now, body can get us not going to chamber. No chamber. Now, body can get us. When they can now, he went and took over the center state, dominated everywhere. He jumped from one place to another. This is one person that never stayed in a particular position. Tell us what will be in media. Tell us what will be in finance. Tell us what will be everywhere. Just name it. He is there. And today, on there by everyone, how do you think we can move? How we can run ID? I'm glad that the leader is still here. He has done what he has to do. And he has done what he knows best. Because when I did trying to do like institutionalization, before they do the financial. They're going to send people to the financial because chicken doesn't know his left or right. The same thing with the other one. What disaster is over, he's going to reap when he's going to get money. Who amongst them will live in Europe? The state in Switzerland, Geneva is there. People who cannot make one single contact. They have never gone to visit anybody from even their own country. They say, what will you do to help IPOB or to conflict this of money? Never done something like that because this is how they operate. This is how they operate. So, there is every reason to talk them. One, the whole of us is that IPOB never behind it. The killing and adoption of people. The rendition of Martin Nnamdi Kanu knew about it, but they were all pretending as if nothing happened.
I thought of much. I thought as much. Continue.
And when he found it, was there, stopping the medical doctors of Wendy from going to visit him, they were one of it. When they were attacking the lawyers to stop the federal union, they were all into it. When they went to block IPOB funds across the world, they were into it. When they went to close IPOB, when they went to remove Onyedu's name from the company's house, they all planned it.
Yes.
When they sabotaged us, the family of Kanu, they all planned it. When they sabotaged Badamaya, they all planned it. Biafra is known. They were part of everything that happened. They were part of it. And as long as I'm concerned today, there is every need for them to be punished. Of course. There is every need for us to hold them accountable for what they did. There is every need. We cannot stop to hold them accountable. That's correct. Hello? Yes. Okay. It's like you just paused. So I want to come in right now. You see, my brother, there's something that is worrying me, that is disturbing me. And I want to say it now about these SQS members. Now that Nnamdi Kanu have sacked them and put the new Directorate of State position, and our Radio Biafra, is in their hand. Even in that publication that sacked them, I saw where it is said that for the meantime, our lawyers are going to do something to cover every of IPOB property in their hand, including the radio. That radio, how many times did they check Nnamdi Kanu? And the person that is there now, that is not a ghost, but a human being. I hope they can be traced to their address and do something about it or not. Because Biafrans want to know, is there anything we can do to this person? Whose name is there? Because this is a criminal offense. Of course, something will be done. This is forgery. We all know that. It's forgery, and the people who are behind it was Securitism and the channels are most of what about Ofoma? Are you accepting him? Who is the head of the meeting? And Ofoma, of course, Ofoma. Don't you think that Ofoma is the master planner of all this evil? But he kept himself aside. He doesn't have to plan. If you have spoken to him before. Yes. Have you discussed with him before? I have. He doesn't have to plan. He can't plan. He's daft. He can't plan anything. He's daft. But these are the ones who are telling him what to do. As long as I'm concerned, they are the ones telling him what to do. They are the ones telling him what to do. Okay. So there is a solution to that effect, right? So that's Sophia Kanu. She's a South African woman. Who are responsible? That is 100% sure. Okay. She lives in Oldenburg. Okay. I know, but she cannot run away from it. Who are responsible? Because that is forgery. Everything they did there is a criminal offense. And she knows. The same thing they wanted to do in German accounts that Science stopped them. That is the same thing they tried. Stop them. But the same people came out today were telling people that you know what? They came out and took us to court. And when you tell me we should make peace with you, they didn't want to make peace. No, we went to court, they were defeated. The argument they wanted to court was that Kanu is not a member of IPOB. Like backfired on them after it was proven in one of the reasons for that. So these men, they have been lying to IPOB worldwide. Regarding this, they have been lying, they have lied, and they continue to lie. Now they are no longer in the system. They keep lying, and the case will keep moving on. They will keep moving on. Because that you once had a position, and you left that position, does not mean that if there is things, if there are charges against you, that it will be dropped. No, the answer is no. Whenever your case stopped, whenever it stopped, you answer to that place. The next person will continue from where it stopped. So this is how it is, and they cannot run away from it. Okay.
Now,
can I add something? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I don't need.
Go ahead.
When you put, the dogs, when you join the dogs farm from finance, from debating, going to government house, and all those things, then you know that this thing was planned. Even when our leader was still with us at then, I'm very sure. Because you cannot tell me that you have a leader, your boss, kidnapped, June and July, already telling people where to pay money. We're already diverting funds. We're already going to the Radio Biafra register to tamper with it. I mean, it's not something you do within 48 hours or 1 month. No. It's a strange plot. We didn't know that we were dealing with devils. We didn't know that we were dealing with people who wanted power. And pay for the honor and did their own. But you see these ones? Israel will never forget them. See them? Our people being killed back home, they never cared. Of course, Ofoma knows about the date. He knows something about it. And like the press release, we are going to get our radio back. We can't wait for them. Nice. Listen to radio, our leaders suffered to establish the radio. We paid money. And we give it for them. Why? We can't leave that radio for them. We will get it back. Everything that we have that they collected, including our Biafra community radio, how do I agree with Jama? To teach others a lesson, I want to mess up this form anyway.
They came to the struggle with nothing. Thank you. They came to the struggle with nothing and they will live with nothing. Now, I want us to look at something that is also so confusing, but it's important to look at and talk about. I look at the date when they made Sophia Kanu secretary. Masinanka was still not yet kidnapped. What do people have to say about it? And Masinanka did not know about it. And after 27 days, from my calculation, when they made her secretary, Masinanka was now kidnapped. And immediately they made the woman the head of the director of Radio Biafra and the IPOB. How can we connect this? Was it a prepared arrangement or was it coincidence from your understanding, Madam Anya or Mazi Canada? Because I look at the date when they made her secretary and when they made her the director. And I look at the date when Masinanka was kidnapped. When she became secretary, Masinanka did not know about it. Who was behind that and how can you connect all this? Because we are now going back to I want us to go back now to the genesis, to the foundation of Masinanka kidnapping. You know, Sinasa once was shouting on Radio Biafra that Masinanka had the opportunity to tell the whole world that they don't know what happened to him. But he did not say it. And it began to ring in my head. Oh, okay, Masinanka have not said anything that it is not the US that sold him, because he don't mention the US. That he was supposed to have come to say it. Why did he keep quiet? Now, looking at the date when Masinanka was kidnapped, and the date that there was a change in the documents of his leadership. Somebody should help me, please. I cannot put them together.
The thing I know here is this. Do not forget when this thing happened at the early stage. This same woman, Sophia Kanu, the South African woman, was being used by Chikedizian. She was holding their money in her pocket. And that was the woman they were using. You know, she was paying them, they knew her in, and asked her to do the dirty job. Because what it is that if you register this with the pin in the company's house, then you have a special pin you can use in logging. you can still find a way through the lawyers to go and get that very information to do what you want to do.
Okay.
But as long as I'm concerned, they wrote a letter, an official letter, designed when Onyendo was
outside
in DSS that he has held his position. And the idiot went and submitted that made me the first one. I wonder, I gave her less than 24 hours. She went and changed it. This time, they went and changed it completely, and they're about to try to resolve the company. But they don't know that it's not over yet. This one will be taken care of. It will be taken care of in the next, maybe the next months to come. She cannot run away from it, unless she runs away from it. But she must explain to the court who signed Onyendo's signature and who wrote that the destination. That's all.
Mazi, don't you think that it's a hand of monkey? That's
of course, it is now, because I called Chika to say, I told him, I sent him a message, I said, Chika, this is what is happening, why? He said, no, Mazi, leave it, nothing is happening, we'll find a way to settle it, nothing is happening, everything's okay. Chika doesn't know he's aware, brought me. I spoke to him on this very case.
Mazi, I'm going beyond Chika, but I'm talking about Nigeria government, ESS. That's what I'm talking about.
No, Nigerian government cannot come in to do something bad.
Not
there is somebody who is in.
I don't understand. Mazi, try to get it correct. Not coming in to do it by themselves. Like using these people who are now claiming to be in charge to do that. You know, Radio Biafra have been a thorn in the flesh of the Nigerian government. You know how many billions they have spent as far as going to even buying a sat link that carries Radio Biafra signal, which can go to port, if you can remember. So don't you think that they have hand in one or two or three of person that did all this dirty job to make sure that they're taking away the right of Mazi as the person who is in charge of Radio Biafra. I'm beginning to think this way because a lot of people are in the same school of thought. They're looking at how desperate they were to stop Radio Biafra.
Of course, we know too well that the ex-DOS, 6 of them, I wouldn't say all of them because there were more than 15 members in DOS. We are working with these people. They were working with them, okay? They were working with the EU government. So now, why would you be surprised that there's not a thing happened? Because there are people who are giving the instructions, like when we are talking about institutionalization of IPOB, they did not know how it started.
Yes.
Of the IPOB golden in to come and eat on the table. They decided they said that no, we are going to eat on the floor. These same people, they said that they were going to eat on the floor. What do you think that is not coming from them? Because you see what they are doing, we are going to institutionalize IPOB. Let me tell you what it is. It was an arrangement. The conditions given to them by the people sponsoring them, the Southeast governors and the politicians. I see them to do something. Now they are the ones that bring these agendas to them.
Now you are
tell them what they have to do.
Now you're talking. Yes.
Tell them what they have to do with their chief lawyer by Crumbling, the financial firm. They are the ones setting the agenda. Tell them what to do, and that is what you see them doing. Tell them what to do. So, yes, it's a reason IPOB. IPOB is a movement known by everybody in the world. It's a strong movement everybody knows. So you are going to talk about institutionalized what? And I pity those idiots. I pity those idiots that are listening to these fools. Now, I pity all of them. So when you go out to the institutionalizing IPOB, you go out, they ask you, who is your boss? Your boss is hiding. Who is your boss? Your boss can't come out and speak for 10 minutes without running away. Is anyone your boss? Or the other one that is hiding his face, nobody knows who he is. They'll go and ask you, man, I've been saying before, no, you've not seen him before. Now, is there any reason to say that Nnamdi did not ask you to show your face again? You are fact. Now, go to that thing you want to show and show people your face and tell them who we are. Not that Nnamdi is telling you not to show your face, which never happened. And because he's a rogue, that's why he's acting the way he's acting today, pretending as if he's doing something, while in reality, he is there to betray people because he said, I will do this after doing it, nobody will recognize my face. I run away. But he got it wrong. He got it very, very wrong. So now the time will take to do what they want to do. But our radio and every property of IPOB they have, they must return it. Or else, they will go after investigation. That is how it is.
That was amazing revelation that we had. The battle is on and the battle is not stopping. If you think you have seen it all, just wait, you are going to see more. The battle will continue, and every one of us have to rally around behind the original IPOB that Nnamdi Kanu has established under Chris Wogu this time around. We must support him and make sure that things are done right. Now let's go to the updates they have in the Zoological Republic and see what they have in their conventional media. We're going to combine that with what they have in the conventional media, and let's see what they are reporting in the zoological media, how they are feeling and their evil they are perpetrating.
Over President Bola Tinubu's performance, some have praised his administration's efforts to position Nigeria's economy, while others have questioned the impact of his various reforms and his approach to tackling insecurity. Joining us on the show to discuss the state of the nation under Tinubu so far is Professor Iroye Samuel, a professor of strategic studies and a lawyer. Good morning and welcome to the morning show. Good morning.
Morning, Prof. Professor Samuel. What's your assessment?
Good morning, sir.
What's your assessment of the Tinubu administration? As recently as June 12, the president said, well, he's done a lot in terms of reforms, in terms of moving Nigeria forward, but that he's committed to doing more, particularly in the area of checking the insecurity in the land. Meanwhile, some other people, members of the opposition particularly, are very skeptical about his record in office. But what's your own assessment?
Well, assessing the impact or the performance of the Tinubu administration are what I can put to the table realistically, because they are what we can see. They are nothing to be denied. Well, talking about opposition, talking about saying that they are not seeing feasible impact, it's a normal thing. That's the work of the opposition. The opposition is expected to be the one for the people, presenting their own information from their own angle. But I'm going to make it bare on the table to let you know that so far so good, the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done so well by the people. How do you assess his performance? I go by the saying of a political reformer by the name Thomas Babington Macaulay. He said, the merit of a government is only possible to be assessed by the fruit and not by the blossom, which implies that the assessment of Bola Ahmed Tinubu can only be proved by what has been on ground, what we can see, what the people are enjoying, and not just noise making. And the truth is that this government is all about actions and not noise making. Let's look at, for example, let me take a biblical allusion. The Bible talks about Jesus Christ was going and was hungry and he saw the fig tree. Blows on him. may the victory look like? Well, fortunately, no fruit. Jesus said, fruit will not go from you anymore. People will not eat from you. That's what I'm seeing the critics doing. The critics of the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are not looking at the fruit. They are looking at the noise of the market. Assessing the impact of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is possible for us from calculating the indices of his election promises from the manifesto to the reality of what is on ground. I can start to mention them one after the other. Taking a cue from the assertion of a female political reformist, and that is Patil, the 12th president of India. She said, you can only assess the performance of a governor or the governance of a country by virtue of their intention they have transformed onto practical reality. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his administration have transformed their intentions from just saying to practical reality.
See a whole professor. Idiot. Look at an idiot. He claimed to be a professor. Talking rubbish.
For things they wanted to do. First and foremost on the lead. Fuel subsidy must be removed.
This is why Nigeria will never be.
I'm in Nigeria and also, it was difficult for me. But the reality is that the impact of that fuel subsidy is what all of us are enjoying now. It's coming to bear with us.
Imagine, enjoying.
It's not spending lots of billions of naira for nothing again. Some of those money have been diverted into other aspects of economy, like salary increase, like
because somebody they call the professor.
Our IGR has increased tremendously. That's under the economy. And that is synonymous with the manifesto of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu before he came to power. Under page 11 of his manifesto, it was an 80 pages. Yes, sir.
So much.
I can't hear you well. Yes.
Can you hear me now? I mean, talking about the
I can.
manifesto. He talks about industrialization in the southeast.
Yes.
How far has he done on that one?
Yeah.
He also spoke about electricity, the famous speech around him providing electricity. Some might argue whether or not he put a caveat, but he did promise Nigerians that there would be stable electricity. And then we look at creation of jobs, small and medium scale enterprises. I'd like to get your assessment on how well he's done on that front. And of course, the one I talk about frequently is about the 35% affirmative action for women. How well has he done on that as well? So if you are, since we're talking about his manifesto, these are some of the promises that he made to the Nigerian people.
No, make he can't speak grammar. He come for the station to speak grammar because they call you a professor. Idiot.
Decisions he made in his first year,
Idiots.
third year.
That's why I'm asking Nnamdi Kanu to say, if you see any Nigerian man answering professor, you slap and design his mouth. Look at the professor.
Well, let me just clear the ground that there are basic reality on ground that we can all see. But our story in Nigeria, just like the story of the Israelites, who just want to drop into Canaan without going.
You are confusing yourself with all those your story.
How you are going to enjoy the dividend of democracy or the promises from the manifesto without going through the process. And that's why, as a nation, as individual Nigeria, we must be patient to go through the process. Fuel subsidy is already coming into action. Look around. When the president came in his own administration, he has increased the position for regional development more than what we used to have before. There are so many programs of the government that are come to bear on the ground, particularly in the health sector, particularly in the healthcare sector. These are things that are coming as a result of the promise of the election manifesto of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu that he promised, that he gave us. Some of these things are coming to manifestation and they are coming to reality. But we need to be patient to go through the process. Rome is never built in a day. Like now, what is happening in the nation, and some people are calling for resignation and whatsoever. And when I hear some of those things, I laugh. It's just as if you are calling a pregnant woman who has carried pregnancy from month 1 to month 7 because of discomfort to go and abort the pregnancy. So it's going to take a process. It is one after the other. For example, let's look at the electrical reform. Everybody knows that the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is known with electricity reform. For the first time in the nation, power generation has metamorphose what it used to be into about 5.5
This man
megawatts.
is very funny,
and
man.
capacity for 13.0 megawatts. That's the capacity we
In
have
a
on
country
ground.
where they lie
So even
without
when you go
shame.
through the process, you are going to find out with time we are going to get to where the
Lie without
president
shame.
is going. Let me give you an instance. I was in my
Wait.
yes, sir.
Get your fact.
Yes.
You said 13 megawatts. Is that what you are saying?
That is the capacity that we have on ground.
Nigeria has 13 megawatts capacity. Installed capacity. Is that what you are saying? Get your facts right, too, because Nigeria doesn't have 13 megawatts. Check that book.
Check the book.
Okay. Nigeria doesn't have 13.
Check that book they give you.
I can't hear you.
Nigeria has 13.
You dey look your book. You can't hear him.
Nigeria has.
Sorry. Sorry. Thank you for that. 13,000 megawatts.
So
that's a fact.
We are still coming.
13,000 megawatts.
That doesn't 13 megawatts.
Yes. That is the capacity we have on ground.
Installed capacity.
13,000 megawatts. Yes, that's the capacity that we have.
In the introduction, you said it has done well. Again, you said it's a gestation period to get better. Are you not contradicting yourself? And secondly, can you tell me the percentage of promises President Tinubu has kept as we speak today? Can you tell me the percentage? Have you done your analysis? To that effect? No, give me a percentage. That's what I'm asking. Of promises President Tinubu has kept.
I may not be able to give you factual data generally.
Okay, let me give you factual data.
On the general,
let me give you factual data.
Give her, Professor.
Factual data.
Okay.
There's a body called Advocacy.
Professor.
It's an advocacy platform. And what they said invariably that with the first term almost over, President Tinubu has only kept 20.8% of his campaign promises. That's what they said. And that means that's a paltry score. If a child, you're a professor, if a child gets 20%, it's a paltry score. So he promised power. We have not seen the power. Now, the surrogates of government are already changing it that, when he said, if I don't give you power, don't vote for me. He said, install capacity has increased, but it doesn't translate to power in the house of people. Secondly, you talked about the healthcare sector. Is it the same healthcare sector that they budgeted over 200 billion for and less than 50 million naira was released for? Is that the same healthcare sector underfunding of the budget? Do you know that contractors are still being owed a lot of billion? The government made a story recently that they said they paid them 700 billion. Then the government went to apologize to them in private. And it was only 40 billion they gave them. So let us make it make sense. I mean, what's the success quotient in all of this? Less than a minute, marshal out your argument, sir.
Professor.
Okay, the assertion you are making are from a particular group. That is not a general assertion. Anybody, particularly from
go and sit down, idiot.
Any percentage.
Because they give you a title, professor.
As a Nigerian and a person who is conversant with practical realities. If I want to rate the administration, I will rate the administration over 60% because I can give you indices one after the other of what President Tinubu has done that has metamorphosed into practical reality for the people. Yes, there is hunger. Yes, people are making noise. But it is not because there is no performance, it is because people have high expectations. And it is normal in any society. You can't just satisfy everybody, and particularly when the opposition are making a lot of noise. And that is why you say a lot of organizations are coming out now to give a voice to what President Tinubu is doing under his administration. Because knowledge is power. Okay. People are not aware. Okay. And that is the reason why they are giving a negative narrative. All right. And that is one of those reasons why I need to bring it bare. There are positive narratives that need to be presented to people.
Speaking grammar.
Performance of the government in the education sector,
Thank you so
in
much.
health sector. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Samuel, for your time with us today. Again, like you mentioned, many organizations have come forward to defend the policies and the work that the president has done so far. Thank you for the time.
You see, this is the idiotic country that will never survive. When we say the zoological republic will never survive, we don't just say it and we go to sleep. We show you why it will not survive. A place built on lie and deception. Look at what that idiot is saying on a national TV. Look at, he called himself a professor. Because they call you a professor, you think you can just come and tell lie and people will believe you. God have mercy on these people. Morons. The reason I go to their channel is to show the world what it looks like when we say the zoological republic is dead. It is not just a propaganda, what it looks like. We say it and we show you what it looks like. That is it. Each time I say it, I show you what it looks like.
26. The federal government signals a review of the national minimum wage, with Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila admitting that the 70,000 naira benchmark must be reassessed against today's realities. And June 25th marks 17 years since the world lost the king of pop, Michael Jackson, 17 years on. And he's on track to sell 5 million albums in 2026 alone. A legend that never truly dies. Let's dive right in. I'm Oji Okwe, and this is what's trending. Now, before we dive deeper, let's see what you're talking about right now. We've been tracking conversations on X, Facebook, our YouTube live feed, and of course, Leke. And 3 stories are dominating your timelines this morning. Trending at number 1, 5 years after he disappeared, during the 2020 NSAS protests, the family of journalist Pelumi Onifade finally has an answer. DNA results from the Lagos State DNA and Forensic Center have confirmed that an unidentified body held at a morgue since November 2020 is indeed his. Nigerians are demanding accountability 5 years on. Now, trending at number 2, First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu is generating fierce reactions online after a viral clip showed her telling Nigerian women that starting an Akara business does not take much money as part of her Renewed Hope Initiative grants program. Nigerians are asking, can a household truly survive on Akara sales in today's economy? And trending at number 3, reactions are trailing the rebuttal by Edo State APC Chairman Jared Tenabe, who is denying a viral photo showing him as an INEC observer at the Ekiti governorship election, claiming the image was AI generated. We have the details. Now, here is where you come in. Join the conversations. Use the hashtag What's Trending with Ojiokwe. A comment on our live feed. And of course, Leke. Tell me which of these stories matters most to you, because for the next hour, we're going into everything that has Nigeria and the rest of the world buzzing. But first, political violence is claiming lives in Osun State, and Governor Ademola Adeleke is furious again after an Accord youth leader was allegedly murdered by APC thugs during a condolence visit to the grieving family. The governor condemned the police's inaction regarding the targeted violence. Let's watch.
Maybe ara àpá tí wọ́n yìn nìyí o, ara dúró ká àbọ̀ nìyí, ibi tí mo tún yẹ sí kò sá lọ. Ìbọn mẹ́ta ni wọ́n tún yìí sí mi ní ẹ̀yìn. Ó jẹ́ pé àpá kékeré wà ní ẹ̀yìn mi bí. Àpá kékeré tó wà ní ẹ̀yìn mi nìyí o. ọ̀tá yẹn ò wọlé ṣùgbọ́n ìgbà yẹn ń tẹ̀lé jẹ́. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ẹgbàá wá o. Ẹ̀rọ lọ́wọ́ o. Ẹ má jẹ́ kẹ́lẹ́ olúbà wà mọ́ o. Ẹ̀rù ìdí pọ̀ ju bàbá wa Bọ́lá Tinubu Ahmed Bọ́lá Tinubu ọmọlódò dẹ. Lọ́sùn wọ́n ní olúbà wà pọ̀ ju APC òṣèlú APC. Wọ́n ń disturb wa o. Wọ́n ń pa wá o. Wọ́n fi máa jẹ́ tìǹda àgbo wa o. Nílé wọlé local government. Wọ́n fi máa pa wá ní ìkọ̀kan o. Ẹni tí gbọ́ ọba wọ́n fi máa jẹ́ tìǹda kiri o. Ẹ bá ní bẹ̀ wọ́n o. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm seizing this opportunity to again to call on the Inspector General of Police to take issue. I've been talking to you. I've been sending some videos of all these killings in my domain as Chief Security Officer of Osun State. Nothing is done yet. I'm going to the Vice President. Vice President has told me what to do. I'm doing it immediately. But what I'm saying is that enough is enough. My people are dying. And it's not acceptable.
Well, Governor Adeleke did not hold back, calling out the Commissioner of Police in his state, Ibrahim Gotan, for what he described as deliberate inaction, revealing that he has already sent videos and reports of the killings to the Inspector General of Police and reached out to the presidency. He named Wole Oke, Boyega Oyetola, and Bola Oyebamiji, directly accusing APC leaders of breeding thugs instead of seeking votes and demanding an immediate reshuffle of the Osun State Police Command. Well, good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai. We did take a story like this, I believe it was on Monday. This killings in Osun State has become alarming at this point. Meanwhile, the wife of the victim, Tolulokbe, gave chilling details about how her husband was killed. She says her husband was coerced into meeting Wole Oke's aid and persuaded to stay at a location in Esa-Oke, even as a Sienna bus carrying armed men in black suits arrived. She stated that when the first shot was fired, it did not penetrate, but alleged that a man named Fakunle Oladapo then removed a bag from her husband's neck, exposing him before the armed men fired a second round of shots and attacked him with machetes. She said her husband died before they reached the hospital and that Fakunle Oladapo immediately fled Esa-Oke. 6 APC thugs have been named as being present at the scene, and a formal report has been filed at Esa-Oke Divisional Police Headquarters, but no arrests have been made. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Osun APC chieftain and House of Representatives member Wole Oke has responded to the allegations, flatly denying any connection to the killing of Accord youth leader Ajayi Aderoba in Esa-Oke. Oke described the allegations as false and misleading, expressing shock and sadness at Aderoba's death while calling for an impartial investigation by security agencies. So, Rufai, now, we have seen two versions of the story. Tolulokwe's chilling eyewitness account naming specific individuals and Wole Oke's categorical denial. The police must now do their job because the truth belongs to the Aderoba's family and to the good people of Osun State. You did see the video also of the man that was brutally attacked. He did show a bullet wound as well as, gunshots in his home. Your thoughts?
First, I'd like to call on the governor of the state, Governor Adeleke. Please take Tolulokwe out of the state immediately.
That's the widow.
The widow of the person.
Aderoba, yeah.
Please take her out of the state immediately. Whatever you can do, get her out of plain sight. Get her children out of plain sight because she'll be the next attack. Oji, the sad reality is this. Nothing will be done. You see, when evil fester, it's because people want evil to fester. Oji, this was the same Osho State when President Buhari was there. Adeleke won an election, being in the opposition. Adeleke defeated the incumbents there. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's in fact, Adeleke went to President Buhari to thank him for free and fair elections.
The neighbors worked in his favor.
You see, it is sad that we have to sit down on this table and call Buhari a true Democrat.
Yes, that happened.
Because that is what is happening today. And wherever Buhari is in his grave, if he sees all of this, he's indeed vindicated being a true Democrat. Not that he didn't do a lot of things wrong. All of this started happening because of power tussle in the states. Pure and simple, the APC want to take it. You keep seeing that it is only attacks at the governor and the Accord party. It's not even attacks at the PDP. You know why? Because it's not the PDP. So it's attacks at the governor and the Accord party, and the authorities will never do anything about it. The boy that was killed, that his father was crying the other day, was anything done? No. At first, it started with the local governments. You remember how the same APC fought them over the local government? They were high-handed. This is shocking that this is under the same President Tinubu's administration that fought for the local government back in the days. You saw what they did. Now this has continued. All right. It is sad that this is counted as political violence. All right. But it will be on record that you pointed out the story.
This is the second time.
Please, Governor Adeleke, take Tolulope out of that state.
I think that is a very valid point. I know Dr. Bati wanted to say something, but the point is that the governor has been calling on the police, and he is saying that the commissioner of police is not responding. He's been sending messages about these attacks that have been going on in Osun State.
This is the second time.
Yes.
First one, Governor Adeleke launches a political rally ahead of the election on August 8 in that state. The second time, he also called on the Inspector General of Police on the issue of the local government and also on the issue of violence. Our appeal will be that the Inspector General of Police has promised that his men will be very professional in participating in this election. We have not seen that professionalism. And, all this goes just to serve as a wake-up call that the police and the other security agencies should not become tools in the hands of any politician or any group whatsoever. We expect that there will be investigation into the killing of Mr. Aderoba.
Yes.
Honorable Wole Oki, who is the APC governorship election campaign director general in Osun State. Yes, he has denied, but denial alone is not enough. The police should do their work. They should investigate. And Osun State must not become a killing field.
This is it.
The people, the blood of the people should not be what the politicians will be interested in. We need peace. We need free and fair elections in Osun State.
Yes, the good people of Osun State deserve peace. And we're calling again on the Inspector General of Police to also look into these killings. Really sad. Well, and reactions are trailing a heartbreaking development. Nearly 5 years after journalist Pelumi Onifade disappeared during the NSAS protest in October 2020, a DNA test result presented by Lagos State DNA and Forensic Center to the coroner has confirmed that a previously unidentified body tagged 1385 deposited at the morgue at Ikorodu General Hospital on November 3rd, 2020 was indeed Pelumi Onifade, a reporter with Boa TV. On October 24, 2020, Pelumi Onifade was reportedly taken away by police officers attached to the Lagos Task Force. While covering a mob attack at a government facility in Agege, he was forcibly removed despite wearing a jacket identifying him as a journalist. 5 years later, his mother's DNA sample has confirmed what the family feared. And yes, the case is not over. The case is adjourned to July 7th. And LASU has been given a final reminder to produce the autopsy report of face compulsion. I mean, a young journalist gone for covering a story, confirmed dead in an Ikorodu morgue after 5 years waiting. Nigeria owes Pelumi Onifade's family the full truth and the full weight of justice. Social media is awash with reactions, with many expressing grief and demanding answers. And I will take one post on X. This is from Oluwa Kemi, before I come to you. Oluwa Kemi wrote, "See how a young, brilliant future was cut short. Because of what? He was not a criminal. He was not a thief or into fraud. Journalism was his crime. That was what ended him. When will this stop? When do we actually be addressed and treated like a human? God rest his soul and the soul of others who are dead, but still unknown to their family because they decided to question the government." Your thoughts?
Right. So Fade is the story of a number of people in Nigeria, and it's a sad reawakening of the level of injustice that still exists. There are a number of angles to the story. Number one is the risks that journalists and journalism is in a country like Nigeria. That is very sad, that we're not still able to protect the rights and, in this case, the lives of journalists who are just going about doing their jobs. The other thing is that he was a young hitter, so a young life snuffed in the prime of his time. He's a young boy, a young son. I cannot imagine the agony that his mother has faced and his family members have faced in the interim. But a few things here, really some lessons to learn. Number one is that I've already talked about the high cost of journalism and how journalism must be protected in Nigeria, and we protect the rights of free press. The second, of course, is what is now termed as weaponization of bureaucratic systems. Why did it take 6 years for us to get an answer with regards to identifying the body? There were repeated pleas made with regards to, and a court judgment had to be made for an inquest, the coroner's inquest, to determine the body of this young boy. Why did it take so long? It takes us back to the number of still missing persons from October 20, 2020, a day that Nigeria will and must never forget in the history of this nation. The other part of that is also a thank you to all the advocacy groups who ensured that Pelumi's story did not go, it was not swept under the carpet. A lot of people, we can see the protests of other young people, because it could happen to anyone. What was this boy's crime? That he was sent out by a localized media, social media platform to go and cover his story. He was shot in the leg. Reports reaching was that he didn't even die. So there's still unanswered questions as to what happened between the time when he was picked up by the Lagos Task Force and then when he was found in the corridor mall. Yeah. What happened to Pelumi within that time, and why can we not protect our young people in this country? Yes. I say it again, that Pelumi is just one of many others who have gone missing like that, especially in October 20. We need answers, and we need answers, and we need justice to be served.
Well said. Thank you, Ayo.
Nobody died. Thank you, because they're missing. Okay. Just coming up 6 years later.
Well. Now we know.
Okay.
May his soul rest in peace. Now we've been following updates on the building that collapsed in Satellite Town, Lagos. The 3-story structure came crashing down on Thursday morning, flattening multiple small businesses. And frankly, it is a miracle we're not reporting a massive loss of life. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service has confirmed 27 people were pulled alive from the rubble and rushed to the hospital. But here's the moment some of them were rescued, which has since gone viral. Let's take a look. Thank God for the 27 that were pulled alive. But 4 adults were confirmed dead before emergency responders arrived. The 2-year-old girl was among those recovered during the rescue operation. But the real story here isn't just the collapse. It's the fury of Lagosians. This is not the first time a building has come down in Lagos. And the question being asked online is the same one that gets asked every single time. Who signed up on this death trap? Lagos is demanding accountability. really. I know you guys discussed the story on Headline. I wanted to highlight the reactions of the Nigerian public. Lagosians are furious at this moment. We're going to continue to follow up on the story and to know why this really happened. Really unfortunate incident that occurred. It wasn't an earthquake. It was not an earthquake. May the souls of those that have died, may they rest in perfect peace. Now, let's touch on insecurity in Katsina State. 7 people have been killed in a fresh terror attack in Matazu local government area, the same community where the late Major General Rabi Abubakar was abducted just weeks ago. Residents say the attackers stormed the community in the early hours of Thursday, firing sporadically, sending families fleeing into the night. Residents have named the feared bandit leader, Kachala Mohammed, as the alleged mastermind, the same man they linked to the abduction of General Abubakar and his wife. And in a chilling detail, residents say the attack came almost immediately after troops from Operation Fasan Yama withdrew from the area, with one community elder saying when troops were present, they slept peacefully. But the moment they left, the bandits returned with greater fury. 7 lives lost, families fleeing, and an entire community crying out. Katsina is bleeding and deserves protection. May their souls rest in peace. Now, we will highlight now some reactions to this sort of terrorism that has been going on. With a fierce and uncompromising statement coming out of Kaduna State, Governor Uba Sani has declared that terrorists have forfeited their right to live and must be completely eliminated. Speaking on live television on Wednesday, the governor drew a hard line, insisting that individuals who kill innocent citizens deserve zero forgiveness, zero rehabilitation, and absolutely no second chances. Let's take a look.
In my own opinion, they are terrorists. When you call them terrorists, meaning they are people that kill innocent citizens. Certainly, they have no right to live. They must be eliminated. That is the problem. So there's nothing like repentant terrorists. No, for me, I don't believe when someone kills someone, you should just allow him again. When he's a terrorist, when we are trying to forgive people, all this thing is not terrorist. Terrorist is a terrorist. Meaning, it's someone that can kill, he can destroy. And as such, and they are killing, you deserve to be killed. In my opinion, they should be killed. Definitely, but because they're terrorists.
A governor from the north speaking. Now, Governor Sani's words were blunt and deliberately so. Kaduna State has been scarred by years of mass kidnappings, banditry, and fatal attacks on rural communities. And the governor is making it clear that his administration has no appetite for dialogue or de-radicalization programs. I mean, Dr. Abati, your thoughts on it? First we took the story in Katsina State. Now, we're hearing the sort of condemnation on terrorists from Uba Sani.
Well, the question to ask is what exactly is going on in Katsina State?
Yes.
Because this is the same Katsina State where we're told that the state government or some officials of government in Katsina State negotiate with terrorists, know who the terrorists are. In fact, there was a gentleman on Trust TV who was alleging that, in fact, in Katsina State, it's not just that these terrorists are known, they are even sponsored on pilgrimage with state funds. And that, you even named about 3 or 4 persons in that particular interview. So you then contrast that with other state governments where, the state government is saying, no, we will not allow, criminality or impunity or, kidnapping or insurgency in our state. We have had the example of Governor Okwewolo of Edo State, who in fact came out publicly and said, well, there's no hiding place for any criminal in Edo State. You've also had the example of Governor Obasani of Kaduna State, who is saying categorically that there's no such thing as repentant bandits or terrorists. If you are a terrorist, you are a criminal. What you are dealing with is simply criminality. And we've also had persons involved in security operations who are saying that they don't trust that anybody will be repentant as a terrorist. And in fact, that those people, they could leak intelligence, they could sabotage operations. And then, of course, I think it's also Governor Mba of Enugu State, who is also saying there's no hiding place for criminals in Enugu State. It's that kind of resolve, that we should be getting from our governors. And now that a state police law is in the making, we also have that hope that these governors who have shown this determination not to tolerate impunity will follow up with concrete action when that law succeeds, and they will be in a position to establish a state police. I also do not agree that any terrorist will be called repentant or be given a shot.
I agree completely.
Or jollof rice or pepper soup.
No, I mean, a terrorist is a terrorist. Once you have killed, you have killed. And, he said they deserve to die. No more of these. These rehabilitation programs are really upsetting a lot of Nigerians, because the question is, how do you tell? How can you tell whether this young man has actually killed? Once you have killed, you have killed. Well, all right. And Oyo State is back in the spotlight, with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency uncovering a multi-billion naira meth lab deep within the forest of Tapa village. The agency revealed that 5 people have been arrested, including a Mexican national, with officials describing what they discovered as a frightening array of chemicals, industrial catalysts, and heavy-duty equipment. Let's take a look. Provide credit to the NDLA, but this discovery is deeply alarming. An industrial-scale drug laboratory buried inside a Nigerian forest with a Mexican national at its center. The presence of a Mexican is significant because Mexico is home to some of the world's most dangerous drug cartels, and their footprint is now reaching deep into Nigeria. This is the second major meth lab uncovered in the southwest in weeks, after a similar discovery in Ogun State last month. NDLEA has warned that Nigeria is becoming a drug production hub, and this confirms it. The bust is welcome, but the deeper question is, how many more labs are out there? How many more labs are out there? I mean, like I always say, there are different dimensions also to this terrorism, that we're facing in Nigeria. And, this drug is absolutely part of it. But you know that the Enugu State Governor, Peter Mbab, has now commissioned a landmark center for DNA forensics and criminal investigation, a strategic partnership between the Enugu State government and the Nigerian DNA Learning Center. Peter Mbab's message to criminals was blunt. Every crime scene leaves a trace, and we now have the science to follow it.
Those who seek to undermine the peace and security of our people, the message is simple. You can run, but you can't hide.
Great development from Enugu State. Now, the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, and Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, were both present at the occasion, describing the center as a major step towards evidence-based justice in an era of rising insecurity and impunity. Enugu is betting on science to deliver what muscle alone has failed to achieve, and that is a bet worth watching. Rufai, your thoughts?
No, I think he's been on the ascendancy for a while, and Peter Mbah's been doing, quite well. And when you look at the trajectory, he's been able to silence the doubters. Because let's not forget Peter Mbah's story. His elections were very neck and neck. How in Kanu, East or West, had to determine the final result, and a lot of people felt it should have gone the way of Edioga that time, the Labour Party candidate. But when you see what he's been able to do now, I hear he's been transforming the state, and you can see some of it yourself. He's even going to make forays very soon into the power sector. I'm also hearing, with some feelers that are coming out on the stage. So this is leadership. As regards Christian men, there's a book by Ali Sufon called Anatomy of Terror. Ali Sufon has written many books about terrorist group and things like that. There's a big connection between drugs, terrorism, and what is happening. Because all those guys that are committing those crimes, they can't do it without the drug ecosystem. Because they take a lot of the tramadols and the likes of all of that. The question we should ask is, on what basis are these Mexicans getting into Nigeria to set up these crystal meth plants? Like you asked rightly, how many more crystal meth plants?
Yes, how many more?
Then the most important question we've not answered is, where are the bank transactions of their Nigerian collaborators?
The trace.
Because there's no way, Oji, these people are doing this without Nigerian collaborators. Another question we should now ask is, who are those? Are they collaborating with in Mexico? Because, Oji, we're talking about gang war, we're talking about a chapel.
Yes.
The way it's going, when you're having Christian Mecca, when it has a blowout, you might have gang war in areas like that. You also see that the ungoverned space in the bushes. It's Ogun, it's Oyo. What about other bushes across the southwest? So these are the trajectory we are looking at.
Yes.
This one, that one they said it was worth close to $1 trillion. This one will be close to $1 trillion too, because this is a very big infrastructure. Then are we tracing the money? Now we should not call it NFIU. There is no how that this where are these things being shipped out of the country?
Questions. Those are
because it is going through, obviously.
Yes.
Is there completing the customs? Is there completing to the shipping agents? Or are they using illegal routes?
Those are the questions.
Where's the security? Where's the border control around there? It's an ecosystem. But this is a drug market in Nigeria. Formerly, this is in Nigeria used to be a transit route. Now Nigeria has become a production.
It's become a hub, and that's what we're seeing it now. Two stories in the southwest, two hubs in the southwest, and we don't know where, anymore. But again, kudos to the Enugu state government for that DNA test lab. Like I was saying to you earlier, one of the reasons why Belumi's case dragged on for so long was the question you asked: why did it take so long? Sometimes, these things have to be transported abroad. This DNA testing. Now we have it here in Nigeria. Hopefully, the fight against this criminality and true justice will happen in Nigeria. So kudos to the Enugu state government. Now, Ayo, to you. We're going to take this trending story. This is story trending at number 2. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is generating fierce reactions online after a viral clip showed her telling Nigerian women that starting an Akara business does not take much money, and that her Renewed Hope initiative has already distributed grants to thousands of women across the country. Let's take a look.
To start Akara business doesn't take a lot of money. To start roasting corn, or somebody even said about grant, you see they're saying that kuli doesn't take much. We didn't give them a loan. We gave it to them as a grant. So we've encouraged Nigerians as best as we could. What is within our hands, I have given, and I keep giving, and those are the things we've done. I remember giving for TB, when I heard there's so much TB cases, I gave 2 billion. To breast cancer, I gave 1 billion. To food malnutrition, I gave 500 million. So those are the things we've been doing, and making sure we can make sure that whatever this government is trying to do, that it will see the light of the day.
All right, I know the First Lady was speaking in the context of her empowerment grants. But many Nigerians online are pointing out that in an economy where food inflation has surged above 40%, cooking oil, beans, groundnut have all skyrocketed in price. Users on social media are asking, can a Nigerian household truly survive on akara sales in today's economy? And I'll take some reactions. This is from Constant, who wrote, see what our First Lady is saying with boldness. No jobs, high cost of things across the country, and insecurity in every part of the country. This is very ridiculous. Still advising fellow citizens to go and be doing this kind of business to survive. Another ex-user wrote, continue explaining. Kuli in this modern era. You want people to be drinking gari. Frying of akara, you need over 250,000 naira. Bag of beans, yam, potato, plantain, frying pan, and seeds and plates. This person detailed everything. 25 liters of groundnut oil. You also need akamu. You know what akamu is, pal. And dawa joro. You people should resign. I beg. That's what this ex-user says. Well, Akin wrote, akara business is one of the most lucrative businesses in Nigeria. Startup cost is the lowest and the profit margin is over 50%. Akara sellers sent many kids like you to universities, built houses, bought cars, and provided good quality of life. Sadly, many Nigerian youth lack the mental and physical capacity to explore and engage the immense opportunities around them. You are doing yourselves, not the First Lady. Ayo, your comment.
For your one voter, I'll give you 1 billion naira. For empirical data, I'll give you 2 billion naira. You get 1 billion. Everybody gets 1 billion.
But she was talking about
I'm not saying
the actual.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I love the sound of billion. That she gave billion. Nobody can argue with the First Lady's generosity. And you can talk about the ways in which, and I think it's important to mention that from her office, it's usually from, as she said, generous donations from well-wishers through her Renewed Hope Foundation, just to mention that. The other caveat I'd also want to point out here is that the First Lady, according to the Constitution, is not recognized. The person that we voted for as a people is the president, the person who has constitutional backing and who is accountable to the Nigerian people is the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But we also know that traditionally, the first ladies of our country have taken up one pet project or the other to complement the efforts of their serving spouse. Now, in this regard, I think there are many things that are wrong with this particular video and this assertion by the First Lady. The first thing is that it almost seems as if you're watching a video from 1960, where they are saying that women empowerment, and there's nothing wrong with small, there's a place in our society for small business owners, micro, small and medium scale enterprise businesses. But we're looking at a Nigeria of 2026. We're looking at a Nigeria in the context of where the rest of the world are talking about cutting edge technology. Is the First Lady aware that women now run multi-billion empires across the world? That businesses like Akara, Akamu, yes, in rural development, in rural areas would suffice, but if we're talking about empowering women in modern day Nigeria, let us talk about industrialization. That is the engine of a modern economy. And when you talk about that, you're then looking at the ripple effect of job creation, contribution to the GDP and the likes. Do we appreciate efforts in this small regard? Absolutely. But when you're talking to women, and I saw the people behind her who were nodding in agreement to what she was saying, we would say that we need a lot more. And if this is the thinking in Aso Villa, then there's problem. That you're looking at empowerment in 2026 for the Nigerian woman whom you're going to ask to give you votes come elections, and you're talking about you're giving them that they're not being creative, that are not. We moved past that. How many people in the family that they come from have made successes of themselves really and truly in today's Nigeria by selling the things that she's mentioned? And even with that, if you want to set up someone in business, you look at the cost of fuel because it will power their aqua business. The scale at which you're talking about to export is a different ballgame in terms of startup capital. And not what she's talking about. And I do think, quite frankly, it's about time we stop insulting the intelligence of Nigerian women by saying that the best they can do is to be selling this and selling that. With due respect to those who sell it, it is fantastic. But what we should be talking about as a progressive nation, renewed hope, should be how should we industrialize? How can we empower women with technical skills? How can we talk about women owning business empires, manufacturing sectors, help women who are already against all others
us are working. That's what we want to hear.
All right, okay. So, we...
No, that's why we do respect that. There's a space for that.
I did see an Akara seller on social media recently. She's been trending, making a ton of money. Has expanded her business and all of that. But yes, we told you we'll be reading your comments. So let's take a look at one reaction from Dr. Ekpa on Leke Leke, reacting to the First Lady's story. Dr. Ekpa wrote, "This one tire me. Akara business for poor women, and you were buying car for APC women leaders. This is the highest degree of hypocrisy and egoism. I don't think you politicians have any meaningful things to offer the poor masses. First Lady, please go to the market and see how tough it is out there." But they're giving you a car option.
But other women can get cars.
So I needed to just read out the comments of Nigerians and why she's trending at number one. Say what you want to say quickly.
I know what I'm just saying is that other ladies should not even aspire to be first lady like that. They should just not sell a car.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. I think we have dealt with this story at length. Now, activist Omoyele Sowore, currently remanded in Kuje prison, is speaking from behind bars through a powerful new social media post. Sowore shared newly surfaced video clips of his interactions with the late Chief MKO Abiola, the winner of the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election, declaring that his commitment to democracy and the liberation of Nigeria did not begin today. He pointed to what he described as a striking irony that many who opposed or ignored the democratic struggle are now in position of authority, using state power to suppress those who remained faithful to its ideals. Let's take a look.
So it was in 1993. I was about 21 years old.
Wow.
And the military had
21.
The military had just annulled the June 12th election, Babangida, and we started protesting immediately. But while the protest was going on, we had concerns about whether Abiola was strong enough to fight the battle that we were ready for, battle of our lives. Because at that particular year was the year I was supposed to graduate from university.
Okay.
1992. So one day, we drove directly to his house in the Student Union bus and walked into his parlor. We asked that we should be allowed to see him. So we broke all the protocols, entered his parlor, and Abiola now, big man, big gates, and when we walked in, said, I stepped forward and said, Student Union leader, I know you. Good job. I said, before you say any other thing, are you ready for this battle? Are you ready to die for Nigerians? He said, yes. Because that day I was wearing slippers, and I was wearing my only Akara, my Christmas dress. And as we were heading out, John Momo, who is now the owner of Channels Television, was his own only reporter at that time, and his cameraman. This is the story of Channels. So John Momo has been waiting outside to try to interview him. He just approached him, Chief, this is John Momo Channels. Before he started addressing him, and that was how I stood firmly behind him that day, just again to assure him that we'll be behind him for as long as he too stand firmly on his. And turns out it was the first and the last time I met him.
This post has gathered thousands of views online, and the timing could not be more powerful. Sowore is currently behind bars and is sharing evidence of a lifelong commitment to democracy. The contrast is striking. A young activist who once stood with MKO Abiola at great personal risk, now facing state prosecution for a social media post. Whatever one's view of Sowore, that contrast says everything about how Nigeria treats its dissenters. Now, Dr. Basi, this story is for you. We'll take our next story now. On Pastor Abel Damina, founder of Power City International, who told his congregation that feminism is a wonderful ideology when focused on equal rights, but argued that women who reject submission in marriage should simply choose not to get married. Let's take a look.
Ephesians 5:22. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of the Lord.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. To your own husband as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head, the wife. Even as Christ is the head of the church. A wife should be subject to her husband in everything. That's what I told you in the beginning. If you cannot submit like that, don't marry. And if you're not married, don't seek for marital privilege. It's as if the wife is to be subject unto her husband in everything. Everything capitally, except it's not your husband. And that will include even what you wear. It's not all this women liberation that's going all over the world. Some women will not smile with me. Who cares? Keep your smile for your husband. Who cares? I have my own wife, and she's smiling for me, even as I'm teaching right here. You think she has sent? I don't send.
Dr. Martin, this pastor don't send anybody. Over to you for your analysis.
The pastor is not too far away from the Bible. The Bible talks about husband and wife loving one another.
Yes.
It says women, wives should respect their husbands. And also at the same time, the husbands should love their wives. And, he kept referring to Christ. That, if you have come together, and it's the doctrine of spousal unity. If there is love, which Christ represents, because he referred to our Lord Jesus Christ twice, then there should be mutual understanding, there should be mutual respect, there should be communication. In other words, a marital relationship should be a relationship built on love. It should not be a situationship. Because once it becomes a situationship, then there will be no understanding. It's just that he used the word feminism or in some other theory, in the literature. Some people use the word womanism. And what I tell people is that all these activist women who say, I will not agree, we are equal, another, you'll be surprised. When they are with their husbands, they are a different kind of personality. So it's just for, ladies, young women, to be careful whom they take advice from. Somebody who is advising you, fight your husband. Don't agree. You are equal. When she wants to serve her husband at home, she will kneel down to put food on the table. People should just be, wise about how they relate to
the wise doctor.
Dr. Martin has spoken. I think it's important to always balance it, because I think one of the challenges is the emphasis on submission without also talking about the onus on the man to love his wife to death.
Right.
The Bible says you love the wife like Christ loved the church and laid his life for his wife. It's not a competition. What I'm saying is a biblical injunction. I believe in submission and I believe in love. And mutual respect is also laid out in the Bible. But if you cannot do it, you are not a Christian and it works for your home. But this is one that has worked for many years in many ways.
The problem out there is that there's a lot of Olodo uprising going on.
What is Olodo uprising? Please explain it. Olodo uprising
means a lot of people that are not even worth talking about subject matter. A lot of people from broken backgrounds that they've been disturbed, and they just want to pour it out on innocent people out there and mislead young girls and act as bad examples to them without facing their own personal problem. All Olodo uprising, and they go and get therapy.
All right, Rufai. I want to take this story for you. Just a quick comment where we have the Edo State APC chairman, Jared Tenovez, responding to a viral photograph showing him apparently wearing an INEC-accredited election observer vest during the Ekiti governorship election. Is now generating significant reactions online or speaking on live television. Tenovez insisted that the image is completely AI generated. Let's take a look.
We have a forum of APC state chairman all over the country, and we all agree that in any standalone election, we have to go give support to our fellow chairman in that election. That was how I got to Ekiti, not to monitor election or whatever. So what you saw on the internet is a creation of AI. And you know that these opposition people, they know how to do that a lot. So I think it was AI, it was not me. It's clear AI, and they are fond of doing it, and they will continue to do it. And AI is going to cause problem for everybody in this country. The first place I saw it was on Dino Melaye's handle. And Dino Melaye is fond of things like that. He knows how to add drama a lot.
You are the vision
Yes, because they have failed. They lost the election woefully. I think they were trying to generate one thing or the other from it.
AI. You advise people a lot about AI, but that's what he's now saying. He said it's Dino Malaya that he first saw that picture on. Yes. Oh, Rufa, you're AI. But it's at the devil at the time.
You see, that's what I was telling the Nigerian police was yesterday. And they will have not said they are vigilant, they will have just lie on AI. You thought I was joking. AI is a new thing to lie on. Just say it's AI. And it's in the realm of conviction. But you see, for AI experts, it is the same AI tool we are going to use to fact check that video.
Yes.
And when they do the fact check of the video, AI will point out if it's AI or not. If it's not AI, there should be questions to answer.
At least we have brought his side of the story, because he took the story now. He says it's
so
AI.
Please, AI warriors, take that picture, screen it, fact check it through AI, debunk.
Roofing on fire. Well, all right.
AI.
Now we're on milestones. June 25th marks 17 years since the world lost the king of pop, Michael Jackson, a day that stopped the world in its tracks in 2009, and yet his music plays on, his records keep selling, and the new generation keeps falling in love with the man who moonwalked his way into history. Born on the 29th of August, 1958, in Gary, Indiana, Michael Jackson began performing at just 5 years old as part of the Jackson 5 before launching one of the most extraordinary solo careers in music history. Thriller, released in 1982, it remains the best-selling album of all time, with over 70 million copies sold worldwide. And 17 years after his death, Michael Jackson is on track to sell 5 million albums in 2026 alone, having already moved 2.5 million copies in just the first half of the year, 800,000 more than his entire 2025 total. Much of the surge is credited to his blockbuster biopic, Michael, which has grossed nearly $1 billion globally, reigniting fascination with his extraordinary catalog and whether his music is playing over a supermarket sound system or streaming on a phone. Young people around the world are discovering Michael Jackson for the very first time. Oh, my favorite, my all-time favorite, 17 years gone. And the king of pop is still outselling most living artists. The legend lives on, and there's truly no end in sight. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. You forever remain a legend. And, on that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. I saw you all dancing. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. Here's Michael Jackson's Thriller again, in memory of the king of pop. Enjoy it, and I'll see you all next week.
like I said yesterday, ensconced and distanced from the reality on ground. And then today we now heard, because he received a lot of backlash from several media outlets, and today we now heard that the president is reviewing the 70,000 naira minimum wage, supposedly because of the harsh realities that we're currently facing. And then we now have to ask ourselves those questions. Did the president know the harsh realities Nigerians were facing? How much is the increment you want to increase now? Would it be 150,000? Would it be 170,000 or 200,000 naira? Then we'll meet up with the current reality. We already know the exchange rate is not what it is anymore. We know that fuel prices are still high, despite the Brent oil benchmark reducing to $73 per barrel. We have our dispensing outlets not selling at the new rates of reduced fuel price. So these are social vices, these are issues, and then Nigerians themselves are going through their own personal issues that is affecting them everything on one of the parents. And it causes several, orientational tragedies. You don't know how things psychologically affect whoever grows up in these homes. It is not a regional thing. It's something that happens everywhere. In my place, for example, I'll use myself as an instance. If you do something wrong, when I mean something wrong, not just a petty thing, something terrible, my mother will expose you. She will keep quiet. She will disgrace you. They believe that if you do something wrong and you expose it, shame will not let you do that thing again. So it's not something that there are some homes where you commit a crime and they will take you inside and punish you. But outside, they'll try to cover you up. And that is why these crimes continue to fester. I saw another video of a teacher sexually abusing a young boy in the village. It was the father who found out, or the mother thereabout, and the man was weeping. A 15-year-old boy whose teacher was touching this guy's anus, doing all forms of nonsense. So that young boy will grow up and be like a misnomer in the society. The guy's psyche has been disoriented. Once a child's first sexual experience being that kind of thing, it tells you what happens. And do you know what happened? The young boy was now molesting his cousin because of what he was going through. These things are terrible. You have homes where a father is having intercourse with his daughters or stepdaughters in the same room, in the same bed. And in some instances, the mothers and the parents are aware. The mother, the woman, is aware of what is happening. Do you know that she would transfer that aggression on the children or on the stepkids and not face the husband that is committing such a heinous crime? You have these things happening in homes. It's high time we begin to discuss these things, because these are the young persons who grow up in this environment. They are the ones we are seeing now in governments. This nonsense happening in governments. This anomaly taking place. This selfishness, this greed, this wickedness. They don't mind Nigerians or any individual becoming a collateral damage in their political chessboard. This is what causes a moral decadence. And it's so sad, because when you have institutions that are meant to address it be wicked or not financed, it means that people can do what they like and get away with it. Because an individual who comes to complain to institutions that this is what I'm going through, because they don't have money and the other person has a sense of supposed connection, the person gets away with it. Like what happened in China, where her uncle was molesting her and the uncle's kids were molesting her. And it almost seems like they got away with it because they were let to go. All the matter has been looked at and the young lady died. We need to begin to assess what we're doing in this country as individuals if we say we want Nigeria to get better. It is imperative that when crime is committed, it is exposed. It is also imperative that when we see something being done to somebody, we highlight it without saying, let me mind my business and go my own way. We need to begin to self-reflect and orientate our young ones, especially those that reside in rural areas, that some practices are wrong. You don't domestically abuse a woman. You don't domestically abuse a man. You don't leave your responsibility as a man to your wife in the house and possibly even rely on the wife financially, just like that, or you become deliberately lazy. You don't shy away from responsibilities. These things affect the society. It causes a moral degradation. And once that kind of orientation is what a child grows up with, this is what you see in the society. You see children, young boys into cultism. You see them wasting away. Our young minds being befuddled with drugs, crime and criminality, and they're the ones that are used during these elections. I heard in the state a young man died. I don't know why. Why do we get ourselves into all of this? Please, elders, community members, churches, traditional leaders, these are the persons whom sometimes when these issues happen, they come to meet you. please do the needful. Help when there needs to be help. Correct when there needs to be correction. And expose crime in every form. Don't say you don't want people to say anything wrong. You don't want anybody to expose your society. It is not something our tribe allows. Once you continue to keep quiet about these things, it causes a stigma, and it retains, it's what blooms in the society. I heard that in some regions, when certain things are done, once you go and report to the police or you try to alert people about it, you'll be stigmatized. They will say you are bringing shame to the community. How dare you go and report it? Why didn't you resolve it or call your family people to resolve it? I heard so, and that is why sometimes when some of this crime occurs, nobody knows about it. But recently, I believe that these videos we're seeing circulating is because the people where these things happen and where they come from want this thing to stop, and that is why it has been exposed. Crime has no tribe, crime has no religion. Crime is wicked and evil, and it must be condemned in all forms whenever we hear or see any of such things happen or occur. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Evening Rush. Barrister Darlington is stuck in traffic, so I'll be speaking with Barrister Fred Nzako this evening. Barrister Fred Nzako is a political, national, and social affairs commentator. Barrister Fred will be giving us some insights into some of the issues we're going to discuss today. Now, one thing we want to look into is the fact that INEC has decided to suspend the electoral officer linked to Emeka Ike's voter data leak. What happened to Mr. Larry Olainka? Why is Mr. Larry Olainka not revealed? Is this the process through which Kenneth will reveal what he needs to
report? And as a public figure, allegation of Mr. Kenneth would have pardoned him. But I want to call because Kenneth threatened to bring out more dirty secrets that in his mind, more things that he called dirty around Mr. P2B.
Yeah.
So Mr. P2B said, oh, that is beautiful. If that is the case, bring it on. Let the whole world see it, because anybody who is going to occupy or anybody who is applying to occupy the position of the president of a country must be somebody who is like an open book and whose cupboard will not have any skeleton. And Mr. P2B wants to make some form of statement that anybody, not just himself, or anybody who is angling to become the president of Nigeria must be not just open, but should be ready to be read like an open book, and that should not have skeletons in his cupboard, because the leader should, like Caesar's wife, should be above board. The president of a country, like Nigeria, should be above board. So if anyone is applying to become the president and his cupboard is full of skeletons and cockroaches and all manner of vices, then such a person should know that he does not have the integrity, the moral competence, and the goodness of person, of personality to occupy that office. So he said that is the major reason. Because many people have pleaded with him on behalf of Kenneth Okonkwo to forgive Kenneth, that Kenneth was behaving not from his head, but from his stomach. But his stomach was directing his mind instead of his brain directing his mind. And because of that, he needed to be pardoned because he was under intense pressure of paucity of his pocket. And Mr. P2B said, there's no problem about it. I would have forgiven him if he ended with just an allegation. He's as a politician and as a public figure, you will not be advanced to unnecessary attacks. But, but the one that he has said that if he had the law to say, if he is taken to court, then P2B said, in that case, I want you to say much, I want you to reveal everything you know. He took him to court. And everybody now believes that, yes, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo will ordinarily and naturally go to court and defend himself. And the beauty of it is that anybody who alleges must prove. For every allegation to make against another person, the onus of proof lies on the person who makes the allegation. So Mr. Okupo will have to go to court and then prove his allegations and possibly come up with any other one that he has with proof. If he fails to do that, the court will know what to do in that regard.
But you said that people who were trying to intervene by prevailing on the conscience of Mr. Peter Obi by saying that Kenneth is under pressure. Kenneth released a lot of messages on X defending his stance and even abusing those who were telling him to calm down and stop all of these vituperations. Even his ADC party members were saying, Oga, who sent you a message? In fact, a lot of them started condemning him because he made such vituperations against his current principal in the ADC, especially when Atiku decided to go for Rotimi Amici. His own party members started condemning him. After all of this, Kenneth continued to reveal details, saying a lot of things, revealed documents, chats, and even claimed that he has a lot of dirty things to say that, they should be careful. Otherwise, whatever remaining sacred profile that Mr. Peter Obi has is going to quash it. So why would anybody want to intervene? If Kenneth Okonkwo feels, very confident that he had evidence to prove all of the things he made on national TV. He is a lawyer, so he knew the implications of the vituperations he was making.
Those who were pleading with Mr. Peter Obi were not pleading with him because they were afraid of what Kenneth would say or what Kenneth had said, because everybody knows that Kenneth was, that was why I said to you that they were pleading with Mr. Obi on the ground that Kenneth was being directed by his voice was as a result of the ramblings in his stomach and not from the mental calculations in his head. So those who understand that dilemma in Kenneth now pleaded with Mr. Peter Obi to just pardon him and not be distracted. But because Mr. Kenneth has continued to remain recalcitrant and continued to puff and continue to live on the high horse. Then at the point, if somebody is pleading on your behalf and the person who is the beneficiary of the pleading is puffing, then he will be allowed to go and face the law. Of course, he can go and he's a lawyer, let him go and defend himself and bring his evidence. But for whatever it is worth, if security agencies of Nigeria, the regime after regime, if politicians who want Mr. Peter to be pulled down, who have the instrumentalities of coercion and the apparatus of investigation and all government facilities are unable to pin down anything against Mr. Peter, that simply tells you that one could only take Kenneth issues with a pinch of salt. And like I told you, remember that in 2023 election, the build up to the election, Kenneth said all manner of curious things positively and realistically about Mr. Peter. He was so happy about marketing Mr. Peter, and he was a die-hard supporter of Mr. Obi. And our good brother Dr. Kacho Nonuju who is also an insider in the whole scenario, I told the whole world what has propelled Kenneth's angst against Mr. Obi. But Mr. Kenneth wanted a duplex in Abuja, and he was asked to just mellow down, especially since the law. Just take a flat, or we'll pay for you. And he said no. He ran to Atiku. Atiku now paid for a flat for him. These are the words of Dr. Kacho Nonuju, who himself is a noble man that does not speak out of inordinacy. So if that is the case, the interview granted by Kenneth, where he said that when money is donated and money gets into the hands of people, or anybody who understands Igbo means that when money gets into Peter's hand, instead of Peter bringing out the money to lavish on Kenneth, that Peter will not lavish money on him. And it became very simple and very obvious that his anger against Mr. Obi is simply because Mr. Obi has not lavished money on him. It does not mean that Obi has not been spending on Kenneth. But maybe to the extent, to the lavishing extent that Kenneth expected, had not come. And I'm sure that Kenneth will be looking at people like Brennan Mokri, and people like Daniel Kuala, who at one time insulted Tinubu and today seem to be enjoying under Tinubu. So you have felt that you can swing your pendulum anyhow, but he forgets that everybody's destiny is not the same. He may swing his own pendulum, and instead of the pendulum breaking the ice for him, the pendulum may break his own skull. And only time will tell. He insulted Atiku in all manner of unprintable ways. Atiku had gone to court 12 times, and at all times he cleared his name. He took federal government to court when he was battling with the president of the Obasanjo. 12 times, all the matters went to Supreme Court. The 12 times, all the judgments went in favor of Atiku. Is it that Atiku? The Kennedy Ogunbo will sit down loudly in one corner and begin to call all manner of unprintable names. Today, it is the same Atiku that he is moving around in his parlor in a very servitudinal way, trying to seek recognition and trying to seek attention. And of course, there is an adage in my place that if you join the enemy to sell your brother, the same enemies will never trust you. If you join enemies to sell your brother, the enemies will never trust you. Drop the word enemy. Use the word opposition. If you join the opponents to sell your brother, those opponents will never have anybody come of trust for you. And that is why those who liked Kenneth's acting career and who still have some level of respect for him and advised him to tone down his vituperations.
Well, a lot of persons have been blaming Mr. Peter Obi by saying that when you become a president, like Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he receives all forms of bashing, all forms of insults every day. He has not filed a suit against anyone. The only recent one is Baba Eleshowore, but there's even the DSS that is supposedly doing it on behalf of the presidency. So people are saying, but Mr. Peter Obi, that is the scenario we found ourselves. You will have a lot of persons insulting you and all of that. So if you want to become a president, are you going to sue anybody who, any Tom, Dick, and Harry who comes and says anything against you? I don't even understand that line of thought.
One Mr. Peter Obi made it very clear that he wanted Mr. Kennedy Okonkwo to fulfill his threats. So that let him bring out those details that he said he had against him. That's all. Because Kennedy gave a condition that if he's taken to court, then they will bring out all those details. And Mr. Obi said, oh, it's okay. I'll take you to court, so you bring down the details. If he did not make such threats, he possibly would ignore Kennedy. And there are many people who are insulted to be in the past. Oh, they are, of course, go through the media. There are so many of them, especially those who, Nnamdi Kanu praised him to high heaven. They said Nnamdi Kanu now sat down as a head of department of the section in Africa issues better only.
Yeah.
A war president of America.
Claimant, who obviously was in court today, and the respondent was not yet in court. They were not in court. The lawyer was not in court because they weren't served. They were just served yesterday. So, Barrister, all right, thank you so much, Barrister Fred.
And meanwhile, tell my good brother, Ekpa.
Fred, I was told that you are the one that caused the hold up.
Ow!
You wanted to stop PRB.
I come today, not the hold up.
Well done, my brother.
Thank you, and good morning.
All right, Barrister. Enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for coming through. I sincerely appreciate it. All right, Barrister Darlington Akumuro, finally, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Esther, I am fine.
This is the second time, so you have another fine to pay. The first time you did not pay anything, I left you because it doesn't happen too often.
What offense?
What offense? That happened the second time. Barrister, you're going to pay fine today. After this show,
I will pay. Okay, no problem. I will pay in kind.
No, you pay in cash. At your own kind. What kind do you want to kind?
Cash have you available. I will pay in kind.
What kind is the kind? Why won't cash be available, Barrister? All the shut down Lagos, all no just all looking where. Barrister, you shut down Lagos by defending why you came in at this time. Barrister Darlington, good evening. Thank you for joining us finally.
Thank you, sir.
I know it's the rain that caused it, and I remember I called you. I told you. I said, you don't calculate this movement today. Okay, Barrister, INEC has suspended the electoral officer that leaked Emeka's case details to Lewe Loinka. So, but Nigerians are saying, should that be the focus of INEC has done their part, agreed. Why is Lewe Loinka why does he still have a job? Why is he still parading himself? Why has he not resigned his position as the FCT minister spokesperson because the crime he committed is egregious? Agreed, Emeka has sued him to court for 10 billion naira. For 10 billion naira, Emeka sued him to court for 10 billion naira. But when they went to court today, the bailiff did not serve the papers to the respondents, the claimant who obviously was in court today, and the respondent was not yet in court. They were not in court, the lawyer was not in court because they weren't served, they were just served yesterday. So, Barrister, in this regard, at this point in time, has INEC done their bit? Should it just end there that they were able to sack the INEC official? Is that enough? Who says the institution is not guilty of such breaches in other instances?
Esther, the problem of Nigeria, we don't take care of little things, and those little things will now manifest into big things. You see this thing that happened, it shows you the Nigerian society, the humanism that is above the law. Esther, there are people that are above the law in this country. No matter what you say or do, they are above the law. Forget that nobody is above the law. It's all of lip service. In reality, even some riffraffs are above the law. Esther, you remember when the certain Motopark chairman was asked to get out from the office to occupy illegally?
Yes.
What happened? Please, can you remember what that man said?
He was reinstated. He said he will not take any other other than the president.
Until the president, Mr. Tinubu, tells him to leave that way, he will not obey court order. Abiko. Esther, Abiko. So when you were talking about society, this is it. Esther, this is how our society is being built. One small reference, because of connection, because of alliance with somebody, he has become a very big man above the law. And nobody sees anything wrong with it, Esther. These are things that the society should frown at. I'm not joking. These are things, that is why the Western world is ahead of you. In fact, they are more serious with their big men committing a crime than small fries. They take exception to it. Remember Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky?
Yeah.
A whole president of America. They made that man up. It was only the Senate that saved him from impeachment. All because he was talking to a lady. Esther, something that our leaders here do to, that is like, even if they'll say, a whole president, the whole governor come to you, go report. You don't want to make your life better. Is that not what will happen? But look at what that man went to. For a lady. That is how to build a country, Esther. This time I said this, it pains me seriously. How come the INEC official that did whatever he did was not the person who had his voice? I was thinking that they should allow that man to go and face his charge because he was the one that brought it to the public domain.
Yeah.
He was the one. We don't even know the INEC official. What concerns him? But because he's the son of a nobody. Esther, can you see? Because that man is the son of a nobody. He's not important. That is why he had to. Even if he did it, was it not Olayinka that told him to do it for him?
Yes. He must have asked that one.
I said yes.
And then went to publish it.
Exactly. Then Olayinka was one who demanded for that service. So under Bakara's liability, you are guilty. You are the one. You are the principal here. Why are they punishing that young man? And he must have told this man, young man, that look, this is for national interest. He must have told him a lot of things. And the guy said that he was doing a good job for, since they are in power.
Exactly.
Look at that, he's now carrying the can. Esther, can you see? This is a lesson for all of you. All of you that are doing this human job. All of you that are doing this, yes, it is our Batman. Yes, it is. Yes. By the time the things will be done, you will carry the problem. You will bear the brunt. This is a clear case of what? somebody using his case, his head to carry another person's problem. That young man had nothing to do with this. He only did what was asked to do. So why not face the guy that actually brought this to the fore? Why not face him if you are sincere? If we are actually running a country, Esther, it's very, very painful, seriously. Very, very painful. Nigerians will not ask questions on this matter. No, nobody will talk, Esther. Because that guy is a nobody. Is that not true? Yeah, he's a nobody. You ask me to do something for you. After doing it, you carry the matter to wherever. What concerns me here? You are the one that asked for the service and I rendered it. So why is that my problem? Let the America go to court and then if you needed any evidence, you now call this guy as his witness or something.
Well, Emeka has already sued him for 10 billion naira in regards to that. And let's see how it will go. Maybe they will call Emeka and try to settle the whole thing out of court. But that is the problem when we have this kind of impunity take place. Because if the institutions were working and if certain things were concerted or an affirmative, Mr. Larry Relanka would have thought twice before he released that data of that young man.
Impunity with this government. Every one of them that has anything to do with this government. Impunity is their middle name. As I've told you this before, I give you an example here. Imagine that Motopark chairman. I'm sure this is a man who cannot make one single sentence in English.
It's not more than Motopark chairman. His status has elevated.
To what?
Don't elevate. It's no longer
To what? Okay, it's not the vice president.
National Union of Road Transport Workers nationwide.
Okay. No, not Africa. You should have done it Africa. Nationwide is not enough. Africa. You can imagine. He opened the mouth and said that he contributed 700 million naira for Tinubu's campaign the other time. And nobody has a come. Where did you get the money? Esther, where did you get the money? I am very, very sure that I'm sitting there. 100% of that money was extorted from transporters. Transporters, because that's the guy he flies his plane. Transporters, commuters, they are extorting money from. You can see. So, when you are talking of society, that is where it started. Impunity started from leadership, Esther. Leadership. This is that you are preaching now. When I was inside the car and I was there and I said, this is herself. If I say you don't understand, oh, just you don't understand. Esther, listen very well.
Yes, sir.
Do you know why the Western world, especially America, when they see you maltreating your child, you are not that child? Are you aware?
Yes.
When just one beating, like just once, they will take that child from you and put that child in a foster home. Your own child, your own child. You know why?
Why?
They are growing in a society of what? Disciplined children. That is why it is there over there. Esther, that is why they grow up with the humility in them, with the human kindness in them.
Not all of them.
What did I call it? The level of wickedness, the level of impunity, the level of violence in our youth here, you can't find it there. Their own is limited. Esther, their own is limited. In spite of what? Their number and in spite of their affluence. It is limited. Whatever you find there is about affluence. No, okay, I can't go there. It's not affluence. The problem of youthful exuberance. That's what you find in the Western world. Because they are so free. They are so, affluence. They have a lot to enjoy and all that. So
that they get depressed sometimes. They just enter depression for no reason.
They just want to go and try. Like, let me tell you, the man that shot Ronald Reagan, the guy shot John Hickey. He was not catching cruise with the girlfriend. He just saw Ronald Reagan talking on the television. Said, "I'm going to shoot this guy." Esther, he said, "I'm going to shoot this guy because of my girlfriend." Just like that, and he tried it. Esther, that is the type of thing you see over there.
Or the young boy that also tried to shoot Trump.
Trump,
on 2 different occasions. They were very young men.
These are does that happen? Have you ever heard or seen such a thing in there? Okay, even at that, somebody will come and say, yes, they are shooting in America. Did they get away with it? Esther, mention one shooting in America and the shooter got away. Just one. Mention one shooting in America that the shooter got away. None of them. Esther, none of them. But here, here, they give condition after all the heinous that they have committed, and the government will call them our brothers till they have beaten them. You can see. They will come and tell you that there are 200 shooting in America in 2025. The shooters got away. Did they not pay for it?
Well, Barrister, when you're having a failure in the conduct of leadership, when there is a huge vacuum in how leadership is meant to be carried out, or when there is a lack of discipline from the leaders, it transcends into the society. There's a weakness and a porosity in institutions that are meant to create a sense of balance by disciplining. When, regardless of where you are, what you are, where you are from, you instill discipline, you expose it. Everybody sees that this is the comeuppance of whatever action you take. That you cannot create a problem, you cannot become a menace, a nuisance, and get away with it, regardless of your social status or whatever hierarchy, whether religious hierarchy or whatever. You must bear the brunt and the consequences of your action. And so that is why there is no fear.
I mean, that is it, Esther. They said a fish is start rotting from the head. Esther, go and check. Whenever a dead fish is lying somewhere, go and eat it from the head and it start rotting. Why is it so? Have you not asked yourself, when you don't have to book and say leadership is the problem of Nigeria, you think the man was doing? Go and check. All our problem is leadership. Incompetent leadership.
So we'll take a very short break. You kindly stay with us. The evening rush continues. When we return, we'll quickly just go through, because I need to take your calls as very early today. It's a very cold day. I know that a lot of you want to contribute to the conversation this evening. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll be right back.
Lagos, are you ready for an overflow like never before?
It's the Interdenominational Hour of Revival Lagos at the Ministers, Leaders and Business Conference.
Hosted by Bishop David Abiogi, get set for a divine encounter with the theme
Exceeding Grace. Grace that breaks limits, grace that lifts you higher, grace that changes your story.
Date, Thursday 25th to Friday 26th June 2026.
Time, 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. daily.
Venue, the Grand Shore Event Center, 17 Billings Way, Oregun, Ikeja, Lagos.
This is your moment for supernatural advancement, your moment for kingdom empowerment.
Ministers, leaders, business minds, step into your next level by grace.
Don't just hear about it, be there and experience it live. Our Revival Lagos, Exceeding Grace. Don't miss it.
You are listening to your number one station, the Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Do not touch that dial.
How's the dark and never be the job? It will worry you as it will affect your business. So not your dog call. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, fridge don't block, business no get wahala, everything be okay. No be dream with your haku. And you the people you like. You have to sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and then go furnish you with modern kitchen or whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, in a solar AC system we want use for house, business, and for industrial work. You have to start gym to help you. Bye to never be no. No wait till transformer goes spoil again. Oh yeah, wrong call no haku for 070 125 302 60 or 080 324 82573, or if it's to call 080 669 60066. For Lagos, we there for shop F1179 Industrial Section, or Alaba International Market, or shop G6 Electronic Section, Alaba International Market, 8th line, Uti Obochi Plaza, Abuja Office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Kawu District to Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we there for number 51, Oporo Road, Asioba Electric Center, for River State. Yohaku website now www.yohakuproducts.com. Online store Lagos.
We are chosen for God's glory. We are heavenly candidate. We are chosen by Master Jesus. We are the choice.
The Lost Chosen Charismatic Revival Ministry, specially invites you to the Miracle Crusade titled And the Enemy Submitted. And the Enemy Submitted. Ministry, Pastor Lazarus Walker, founder and general overseer.
Whatever the enemy or the problem you have, that problem has a name. That problem must solve it.
Doing up live on Saturday the 27th and Sunday, 20th of June 2026, 9 a.m. each day, at a chosen revival ground along the Shugaba Expressway, Desha, Lagos, Nigeria. The Lord is said to execute the submission of all your enemies in marriage, health, business, academics, social, and spiritual life. And the enemy submitted. Come and be blessed. Jesus is Lord.
And welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We're currently streaming live on YouTube at VOP 903 FM. I currently have Barrister Darlington Agumore joining me in the studio. We've been speaking before we went on the break. Barrister, very quickly, Mr. Barrister Fred Nzako spoke about Kenneth Okonkwo being finally dragged to court, a federal high court in Onitsha. Peter Obi gave Kenneth Okonkwo 7 days to retract the statements he made about collecting bribes and determining who becomes who in the just concluded NDC primaries. And the person that Kenneth Okonkwo alleged, gave him all of those details, has come out to distance himself by saying, I never mentioned that Peter Obi collected bribe from me or even spoke to me in any reason. I was just telling you that this is what we're going through and maybe I'm trying to gain access to Peter Obi. Kenneth Okonkwo released the chats he had with this man, the money that the man said he paid NDC, which is about 20 million naira and all of that. And Kenneth, after what Peter Obi said, insisted that he has more to expose, that in fact the obedience should be careful, otherwise he will remove whatever form of self-respect that Peter Obi has. He's going to display a lot of other secrets he says he knows about Mr. Peter Obi. Now, Peter Obi in a recent interview said, you can abuse me, Nigerians abuse him, he's used to it, but there is nothing, when it comes to accountability and money and bribe, you must present the evidence. Kenneth refused to retract his statements. Kenneth refused to apologize. And now Peter Obi has finally taken him to court. In one of the issuance in the court that he's suing Kenneth Okonkwo for, he's suing Kenneth Okonkwo about, the suit is demanding 2 billion naira in aggravated damages and 1 billion naira in exemplary damages due to the deliberate repetition of the claims on social media platforms. Kenneth kept reiterating that Peter Obi collected bribes, so he needs to bring evidence. Furthermore, the writ is seeking an order compelling Kenneth to publish a full, unreserved, and unequivocal apology on the same television station where he made that statement. That is that outpost. That's Channels TV. His personal social media accounts as well. Kenneth must make all of those, and three national daily newspapers. Obi is also seeking a perpetual injunction to restrain Okonkwo or his agents from further publishing or circulating any statements that impute bribery, fraud, scam, or criminality against him. Obi explained that he decided to take legal action because serious allegations should be tested before a judge rather than debated in the media, especially since Okonkwo suggested he had additional information to reveal in the future.
Yes. Esther, with what Kenneth Okonkwo is saying now, I am disappointed. Seriously.
Kenneth Okonkwo is saying
yes, Kenneth Okonkwo, with what he's saying now.
Saying now?
What he's saying now.
No, he has not said anything now. His response to the first...
he said something.
That what?
That he had a more secret to reveal.
And this was not what he said now. This was what he said after Peter Obi had given him 7 days to apologize. Kenneth's response was that he has more to reveal and that he had evidence and that those people gave him evidence. So, Peter, after 7 days has expired, he has now been dragged to court.
That's what I'm saying. This thing he's saying now does not add up at all because let's look at it this way. If I take you to court, because because you stole my property, and I have evidence that you stole my property. When we now get to court, instead of you to discharge yourself of that liability, you now tell the judge, my lord, he stole Okonkwo's car 2 years ago, and I was a witness. So, which matter is the judge going to judge? Is it your own or the one that you are referring that happened some time ago? Kenneth Okonkwo should first of all discharge himself of the liability on his head. And then if you have a fresh matter, you bring in the number. That is, bring it afresh before you court and say, B2B, I am now alleging that you did this and all that. You cannot take B2B to court, sue him to court on a separate suit. Because I don't see how the two suits will be entertained pari passu. That is, the judge will be entertaining Kenneth Okonkwo's case and entertaining B2B's case in the same court. At the same time, does it work like that? Esther, please tell me.
I don't know, you're the liar.
Yeah, you don't know. But you don't know. Look, that's why it does not add up. It does not add up. There is no way. Kenneth Okonkwo will start telling us. We are talking of you accusing somebody of bribery. Prove it.
Bribery, corruption, scam.
Prove it first. Once you are finished with it, when you are, I mean, you can now say, okay, B2B for doing this, I'm not going to sue you for this.
Kenneth Okonkwo was so certain of the statements he was making. He said it with all very strong confidence, and everyone was like, okay, we're waiting to see what you want to expose.
Like that. Remember when Mando was telling somebody who told him that you accused Tinubu of being one of the most corrupt governors? He said no, that he never said such a thing. That the woman should retract that statement within 7 days, or you go to court. Remember? Then the newspapers went and flame and started bringing out I will say it here.
But Barrister, does it mean that Tinubu or the DSS suing Omoyele Sowore to court for him referring to the president as a criminal is the right thing to do? Because if you call someone a criminal, you must present evidence. And Peter Obi, again, this is basically the reasoning that Nigerians are having towards this thing. Some Nigerians are saying, okay, fine, if that is the case, then why will anyone blame the DSS, possibly on behalf of Tinubu, to sue Omoyele Sowore to court for calling the president a criminal? Omoyele's evidence against President Tinubu being called a criminal is the people working in his cabinet, Femi Fani-Kayode, as well as Reno Omokri. Reno Omokri said the president is a criminal. Reno Omokri alleged that the president forged his documents and went to protest in front of Chicago State University or one of the whatever. Femi Fani-Kayode also made such statements that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the worst criminal and made some highlights referring to his governorship as the Lagos State governor. But now, the difference here is these persons have retracted their statements and apologized and said they didn't know what they were saying at the time. But Omoyele Sowore has not retracted, and that is why these guys were given ambassadorial positions. Also, Reno has worked hard to ensure that he dehumanizes verbally any of the opponents of the president, and now he's been given an award. The same thing of Mr. Femi. They've been forgiven, and they are now ambassadors of this government. So, what is your take in pari passu with the two different cases?
Esther, you know I have said it here before that DSS, they are trying to demarket it, you know. They are trying to embarrass you, seriously. If I were DSS, I would have let this thing go, because by the time you start digging into this matter, you are now going to expose what you are trying to forget.
Okay.
You see this criminal thing, Esther, when evidence is very clear, do you force it? Esther, oh my God, when the US state officials were releasing documents on this particular person, and all of them are engaging on criminality, what does it mean? Esther, what does it mean? When a certain college, somebody brought a certain certificate from a company that was not founded, you collected a certificate from a school that was not even good.
The president is saying that no court has termed Tinubu a criminal.
Okay, fine.
That's their defense.
Good, fine. That's what I'm telling you here now. Hold on. Esther, there are things that are very obvious to everybody, whether they come to prove it or not. Don't dig into it. Even the DSS, they know. Maybe they want to cash out with this matter. They know. That is the fact. They know. So why are you telling me before a court? If you are very impossible for the court to even entertain the case, so which fact is that? There is something that surrender yourself to court. You are under immunity. That is certain. When you were not under immunity, they wanted to release a certain document from you. He said, no, you did everything you can under the earth to make sure they don't release those documents. Because he said that it will cause irreparable damage to your person. Esther, how can a certificate that you paraded as a first class graduate and you went through scholarship and all that, is that not what you said? How can it cause irreparable damage to you? Esther, just look at it. Is that not a contradiction? You should be proud to tell the whole world that you had a first class, according to what you said. Is that not? So, what is irreparable damage here? The DSS are aware of all this. They just want to catch you, like I keep saying. It will get to a point, this matter will be withdrawn. Because Tinubu said that he did not ask DSS to arrest Showore. He said it himself. He did not ask the DSS to arrest Showore.
But the DSS went ahead. So are you saying they are going ahead without the president's
That's
permission?
what I'm telling you here. They are crying more than the belief. They are crying more than the belief here. Because in a criminal matter, of course, you don't judge it in absentia. The court may need the presence of the complainant. And the complainant here is a Jew. Yes, it's the complainant. You don't prosecute the law or with a surrogate, no, especially the criminal matter. If it is a simple suit, you can say, okay, somebody can represent you.
Okay, but what about Chukwuma Soludo's claims
that
against Mr. Peter Obi, all the statements he has made? Could it be for political reasons or there is something personal ongoing?
It's not politics now, it's not obvious. Just to be the good book of Tinubu. You know, when they see you, when
Chukwuma Soludo's previous or issue has been since 2023. You saw the letter he wrote, and that was something else.
Esther, if you are planning for political opportunities, then in 2030, you start planning it now.
So Chukwuma Soludo is planning for political appointments.
Of course.
So Peter Obi is what his Peter Obi is a feather to use.
Yes, exactly. He needed to bring Peter Obi down so that he will be up. That's not the simple.
But who rises by bringing others down?
That is the mistake many people have made in life. Esther, that is the mistake many people have made in life. You bring others down so that you want to climb up. That is the same way they will bring you down. That's simple like that.
Parents are very quick because of time. In this regard,
who gives those guys? Are they not even?
Parents, the FCT minister has warned the PDP not to rely on luck ahead of the 2027 elections. This was at their National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja just yesterday. They called it their 109th National Executive Committee meeting. He says that opposition politics need strength, good organization, and a strong will. That power is not given easily and has to be fought for, sacrificed for, and worked hard for. I mean, this was the same statement the president made in 2023. Power is not served a la carte. You need to take it, you need to grab it, you need to run away with it. Do we see the opposition with that kind of mindset?
Esther, that is the only problem to be had. He's not playing politics like the Nigerian way. And that's why all manner of people are rubbish in his name. That's why all manner of people are talking to him. Esther, be sincere to yourself. P2B and these other people that have grabbed power according to their own word. Please, put all of them in a scale. P2B, put them in a scale with these people. Esther, who will pass? Who? Is it not obvious? And so, because the P2B is not that violent and violent person who like to get into crooked means, the Nigerian politics does not welcome him. P2B is not that kind of person who has the talks working for him. P2B is that kind of person who will go and
But at this point in time, the system you're talking about seems not to be working. It has to be rugged, it has to be brutal, it has to be grabbing, snatching, run away with it. And I'm asking, with the current composition of your position, because if you, the way it is now, the APC seems to not care to go through things the normal way, despite the fact that they have everything at their disposal. They're going brutal. So, sir?
These people have their duty with crash. Esther, go and check 1939 to 1945 Germany. Go and see what was going on there. Germany, under Adolf Hitler. Go and see how this man turned human beings into animals. Just because he wanted to be up there. In fact, he wanted to turn Africa into his slave coast. That is the wicked ambition this man had. Go and read Mein Kampf, the main race. He has such an ambition that the German race should be the superior race, and so everybody should serve them. This was his idea. Until some people said, no, this cannot happen.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that this thing that people are celebrating now is brutal. It is this Nigerian state that they have turned into evil. It is going to crash because evil does not last forever. I just gave you an example here. All those evil ambitions of Adolf Hitler, how come? Today, German society doesn't want to hear that name. That is, they don't anything that has to do with Nazi. They have obliterated from their history. And look at where they are today. So evil can never last forever. It's a matter of time. It will crash. We have seen those who played that role in Nigeria. And what happened at the end of the day, sir? Please tell me, did it last? Did it last? It can never.
It doesn't last, but
it
then
can never.
lives would have been lost. Businesses crashed.
Exactly.
The ordinary Nigerian bears the consequences for all of this.
It is good. We pay that price to build the society. Yes, we must pay the price.
So the ordinary Nigerians with their blood will continue to pay prices for the action of a few greedy people.
Yes, that's the price we have to pay for creating monsters in the name of human beings. If there was no Russian Revolution, Russia would not be where it is today. If there was no American Revolution, America would not be where it is today. If there was no French Revolution, the French would not be where they are today. Two of us. Please, two of us. So this is happening in history. Maybe our own is gradually coming. It is gradually coming, but people refuse to listen. You know, each time we come here and talk, they think we are just joking. This is how societies are destroyed. And then a new crop of leaders will now spring up from there. You see, this is they are pushing us, this place they are pushing us to. It will get to that place, people will now bounce back and say enough is enough.
Okay, so
nobody believes that Arabs could happen.
In reference to Mr. Peter Obi's case now and Kenneth Okonkwo, Shore has been taken back to custody. You have always insisted that it is a planned work, that Shore is working for Tinubu and all of that. And Shore is standing on his claims. Even when he came out in court yesterday, thereabout when his case was being listened to, he still referred to the fact that all of them, the vice president, the president, the executives, all of them are criminals. He referred to them as criminals despite his case ongoing. And he was not given a bail. He was taken back to DSS custody. We even saw the way they surrounded him like it was one person who had committed treason or terrorism or something like that. So would you still hold on to the fact that Shore is working for Tinubu, or that all of that is a charade or whatever?
Good. The DSS director is probing the way Shore was harassing court. Are you aware? He set up a committee to probe why the DSS operating should behave like that.
That was because their lawyers sued. Their lawyers stood against such action.
Good. So what I'm saying in essence is that let this matter be brought to a logical conclusion. Because we have seen this severally.
What are you saying? Are you saying that?
Whether it is a charade or not, let it be brought to.
Well, that's what you said, on Monday. That they are playing a game.
Did you not hear me?
All of it.
Let it should be brought to a logical conclusion.
What is your logical conclusion?
Let them send him to where Kanu is. Nnamdi Kanu.
Why?
Is that not the end result, the end game?
Did he kill anybody?
Oh, really? The one just dragging him up and down in court.
No, I'm not making reference to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu killed anybody. I'm saying that that the state, the situation of Nnamdi Kanu, they're putting it in terrorism. Did he commit terrorism? Sir?
The end result of what they are doing to Shore, is it not to jail him for what he said? Is that
yes.
Let it happen first now.
Before you know that he's not
exactly. Let it happen first. Let it happen. Because I don't want that tomorrow that they say the matter has been withdrawn by the Attorney General of the Federation. I don't want to hear that because it can happen severally. Severally. There was a time this Shore was wanted. He was on the watch list of all the security agencies. I mean, when he was in London. Immediately he landed at the airport. A call came from Abuja that they should give him clearance to come in. Two of us, Esther.
Yes.
Oh, really? This man went to sit where Shore was supposed to sit in the function in Lagos State here. They asked him to stand up from there, that is the place reserved for the governor. He said that the governor should go and look for another seat that is sitting here. Esther, who will try that? Who will try that in this Lagos? No, tell me, who? And nothing happened. No, who will try that?
Some guys wanted to push him off, but somebody told them to just leave him alone.
Oh, really? Oh, why was he giving such a soft land? If I try it, it come. They will arrest everybody, no go. Esther, if I try that in this Lagos, nobody will say anything. Just nobody.
So you're saying that no ordinary Nigerian can do that unless there is something.
Esther, leave this please. I've told you. Let them bring it to a logical conclusion.
What insurers are able to defend this and bring evidence, and the court admits his evidence, and the president is termed what he is termed. What will you now describe it as? Because Shore pushed like this for the former Inspector General of Police, Ekpa, and he was eventually sacked. It means that all he was saying against him, he proved it, with the protest, with everything. He says, despite Ekpa wanting to take him to court, almost imprisoning him, jailing him, at some point in time, he was almost declared persona non grata. So with all of this brazenness and the fact that somehow he has proven what he's saying to be right, you still believe in quote that there is something else.
Tinubu is under a minute. True of us.
True.
So how can a Shore get conviction against him? So tell me please. A man under immunity, how can a Shore get conviction against him? Esther, can it happen in this country? Please, look, when you are doing this, I don't know whether you know who you are talking to, Esther. You want me to believe what you are saying, Abby?
No, I'm not telling you to believe. I'm just trying to put things together.
I'm trying to let you know now that this is not possible. It can never happen. Okay. I told you that at the end of the day, you see how this matter will end. You can never get conviction. It can never happen. Ekpa is not under any immunity.
So if it ends the way you assume, then that means there's a collusion somewhere.
Even more will happen in future as long as Tinubu is in office.
Okay.
A Shore will always use it to leverage. Yes, because you know that he cannot do anything to him. He knows.
Barrister, you haven't gone through half of the things that Shore has gone.
Why should I try it?
For you to
Esther, why should I try it? No, hold on. Why should I try it?
I mean, are you not? Don't you want a good Nigeria?
Which good Nigeria?
As you stay in this studio to protest and call out the misnomer and the anomalies. If you sue the government to say you people are wicked, you people are evil and all of that,
Esther,
and you produce your evidence based on certain events.
Esther, from where I'm coming from the part of the country I'm coming from, there are certain risks I cannot take. I will only be cautious about it. If I have a godfather, I have a godfather.
Barrister.
I need to challenge God.
Okay. 08036929933. 08036929933. That is the number. Thank God, please can I get the phone? 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That is the WhatsApp number, okay? And the number for you to call is 080-3692-9933. Please, a minute, okay? A minute, I beg you, please. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Fine, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
I'm calling from Ojo.
Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, it appears you enjoy involving Barrister Darlington Shomo's existing. If you like catching cruise with him,
how?
Please allow this man to be. Leave him alone. You only know you know his position.
Events have changed. Events have changed. You can't hang on to that same mindset.
restaurant and take it.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, my brother.
Okay, thank you very much. But Barrister, you're not meant to have any preconceived notions
It's
towards anybody.
APC woman, yes.
So now, APC.
Thank God.
I thought you called me AAC woman.
It's APC.
Okay.
Yes, it's APC.
All right. I wish I'm getting this money of APC.
Will you tell me?
If I'm getting the money of APC, I will not be here. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther.
Good evening. Welcome. How are you?
Barrister Danny, good evening.
Welcome, my brother.
My name is Robert. Barrister, I sympathize with you. I don't say we go to you.
Nice, yes.
Barrister, I don't know if Kenneth is aware that Osakome started.
Yes, exactly.
Is Kenneth aware? Because you see that man, anytime I hear him talk on television, maybe any of the arising, he will be talking, I don't know. Maybe lawyers say anybody that's alleged must prove it.
Yes, now.
So because Obi is a very gentle somebody, does not talk, so people are taking that man for granted. I don't want Obi to take this man's honestly. What kind of lawyer is this one for gossip? You talk something and at the end you are. Let him go and defend what they are alleging. I want Kenneth to go to contact them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Robert. 08036929933. That's the number. 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine, hallelujah.
Amen. What's your name, sir?
My name is O.C. Wanted.
O.C.
Yes.
All right, O.C. Welcome. First time caller.
No, in your show, you don't allow me to call.
How?
You don't allow me.
You don't like that. I don't know. I never even know. O.C. Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. That's why I said that earlier. For the first time, I used a different number. Barrister, good evening too.
Good evening, how you doing?
I did fine.
Please, you know the C number here.
No, I understand. Don't worry. I know why I'm accusing her. Okay. Even on her birthday, I wanted to call her and say one thing with you. But that one don't pass. What I'm saying is that, Barrister, please, I'll ask you to please don't give up. Because you are the mouthpiece of the masses, and that's the nation we represent, VUB. The thing that is going on in this country, they take us, when Rufai talks about it, they take us to be fools. People who don't have sense, nothing, anything we tell them. How can, of all people, they come out to tell us that the video that has been circulating since how many years, that the president never said, if I don't even his Yoruba accent was very prominent. Don't shoot me when I come again. And people are defending these things. Instead of you to look for what they call, assuage the people, make amends for the mistakes you have made. Somebody was saying in the morning, where is Lai Mohammed? Where is this guy that was working for, writing for, what's the name of that?
Send me additional.
Additional. Where are they today? All those things, all the names they call people, where are they? Can that one teach you a lesson? And they said Jonathan chose gentle people, Abachi, then later this guy. And were they not human beings? You see, it's something that is black. Please let me not take other people's time.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Osi. Enjoy your evening. Hello, sir. Barrister, hold on. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm fine. Good evening. This is Obimo from Malnamada.
Ola Obimo, how are you this evening? It's raining though. Is that why your voice sounds cold?
No, I'm fine.
Alright, no wahala. Please go ahead.
Okay, about Kenneth Okonkwo, I just feel Kenneth Okonkwo is being used by someone to the market for Peter Obi.
I just felt being used. And then at the end, come to find out the truth of what it happened. That's number one. Then number two again, the barrister that thing. There are times, there are times you say something and you would not admit it in front of Esther. Because I know Esther was trained to you, saying that you said something on Monday, or you dodged that question. That several times she would pick your word and say that you said it, but you tried to dodge it. And there was a reason. You said that Showolu was working with you. You never answered that properly. You didn't answer properly. And that is why it's time to say this. I keep the YouTube messages, everything. So please, when you say your word, just stand by those words. It's still the same. So just thank you very much.
Thank you, Nnamdi.
Esther. Sam? Yes, I have always heard you say that it's working for Tinubu.
Had me.
Yes.
Abi, it's you.
No, you always
Barrister, you said that Showore is working for Tinubu.
Hold on, please. You are the one that put it in my mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Listen very well, please.
Barrister, that lifting.
What? Please, listen.
Hey!
Esther, I said, Showore knows that a Tinubu cannot do anything. Please leave this working for what?
Jesus.
That is not the word to use.
Hey.
When I said he knows what this guy is doing, I did not do anything to him.
Barrister.
I don't like you trying to twist words. I don't like it.
Me twist words.
No, seriously. I said they know what they are doing together. Like I said now that he cannot be put to jail. If at the end of the day, let them put
Barrister, tell it to
I don't want to hear that, please. What are you saying? What are you saying?
You don't want to hear words.
I don't give you examples here.
Barrister,
what are that examples?
on Monday,
I said
they're working together. You said they know what they're doing. You said they're working for Tinubu. That Monday is not even the only day. Even on previous days, even on the protest for Nnamdi Kanu, you make utterances like that. Now it's me that puts this in your mouth.
I said. Esther, please listen.
Barrister, you will not bully me.
Hold on.
You will not bully me. This one. You will go to court. I'm a lawyer. He's the honorable senior advocate of Nigeria, Barrister Fred Nzako. Barrister, he will floor you in court. He will defend me.
Listen to me now. I said that they know what they are doing together. I said it. That does not say that you're working for Tinubu. I didn't say such a word. I said they are doing something. Yes.
Okay, please let's take focus. Because we have live appearance.
What is the difference here?
Okay.
What is the difference? I said you can never put
08036929933. Barrister said that he put down for his mouth. Now me talk.
You didn't hear what that man said.
Hello, good evening.
You always trying to put it into my mouth.
The man said whenever you say something and I remind you, you should stick to it.
If I said
hello, good evening.
They know what they're doing together. I said
hello, good evening.
I said they know what they're doing together.
How are you?
They know what they're doing together.
Hello.
Esther, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you? Is this UC?
Yes, UC, Esther.
Okay.
UC, welcome.
I don't want to join this victim. Esther, let me go to my point, please.
Please go.
Esther, I want to second what the proverbs of Barrister Fred Nzako. Now remember, when Julius Caesar was to be killed by Roman senators, he was stabbed randomly with death. He knew the face of all the senators there. They didn't react. Not until he saw the face of Brutus.
Yes.
He said, it is routine. Even you, Brutus, you pretend me. You start with me. You start feeling. You, my boy, my son, my brother. Now, a man that betrayed his brother for the benefit of the enemy, after they betray him, the enemy puts the success they want. They will still not trust him. That is the reality of life. Esther, a Jewish rabbi, Jonathan Notza, he said an argument for the sake of truth. It's an argument for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, based on intelligence.
An argument not for the sake of truth is an argument for power. Everything is said about Peter Obi all the while to this time. They are all arguments for the sake of